Let's start. Yeah.
Let's do that.
Let's
Perfect.
do it.
You want to introduce
away,
yourself, Zoe? Get
Sure.
started.
Hi, I'm Zoe Kirkpatrick. I'm launch director, which means launch coach at 463, which is up here in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. And I have the pleasure of working with Mr. Timothy Lindsay.
She's been to 7 years of therapy to practice saying that without crying. Welcome, guys. My name's Tim Lindsay, productivity coach with Market Center 463. And we love this series of classes. I love that Gary decided to just skip. We were like on series 2 and then we jumped to 6.0, right? We missed some in the middle, but anyways, version 6 of Ignite, and it's 20 sessions. I think they've done a really good job of bringing it back to teaching around the books that we hold so dear with the Red Book, MREA, and with Shift. So we're excited to join you guys tonight. Really appreciate you investing your time to be with us tonight. Zoe said it earlier. I think camera's on, whether you believe it or not. I believe truly that when your camera is on, you're a little more engaged. So I would love to see your faces. Even if you're grimacing because you already hate me, that's fine. We're going to get through this together. So please put your cameras on. If you have background action or you're chewing your grape nuts real loud, we'd love your mic to be off, but don't hesitate to raise your digital hand, your physical hand, or unmute and ask questions. That's what we're here for. So welcome, guys. We really appreciate the opportunity to be with you tonight.
Really quick before we move forward, I just want to confirm, did everybody get the notification that it's recording? Oh, wait, I see it. Never mind. You're good. I will step out now.
Awesome. See you. Questions as we get started, guys. Questions from past sessions, questions about anything before we get started so we don't leave anybody behind. Please, one question. Any question? Everybody's got it. We're good.
I missed the last class yesterday. I wanted to know briefly what was the session that session was about. Quick overview.
So you would have done session 5 and 6 yesterday.
Okay, 5 and 6.
I think, and so correct me. Can you help me with this one, Melissa? Because I'm not remembering off the top of my head what 5 and 6 are.
So last night I taught the class and it was grow your database. So we talked about kind of what needs to go into a database, how to get your leads into there. We talked a little bit about different systems for automation. We talked about testimonials and how to get those and make sure that you're using those to get the referral business. But Maria, we definitely have the recording and that is on YouTube. So you can check that out for sure. But we're kind of coming off of how to grow your database.
Got it. Thank you. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. Yeah, no problem.
Thank you, Melissa. Great point Melissa brings up too. Getting people into your database. I know a lot of you have probably seen the information coming from Texas, coming from Gary, talking about the Thrive for 25, talking about the flow chart they've put out. Agents in the KW ecosystem that are using Command, because we can obviously only track the Command numbers as a company, that have at least 201 humans in their database are averaging 119,000 in GCI annually. Now, depending upon where you are in the country, and I know a lot of us are on the Eastern Seaboard here. I know there's a lot of people down in the Beltway, DC, Virginia. In our markets, and our average is about 10,500 for GCI. So that's probably about 12-ish deals for our kids. So that's not horrible because that gets them to capper status for us. So there's a lot of power of just having 12, the 201 is a really important number. If you have less than that, that's your mission from God right now is to get to 201. If you have more than 201, it's start to double that and triple that and quadruple that, because that's how you leverage your business with the technology. So, all right, let's get started. We're going to talk about open houses. We're going to talk about social media tonight. We're going to cover those briskly. I apologize in advance for the duration of tonight. I talk fast. I talk a lot. That's why Zoe's here. She's got an egg timer and she's going to move us through. The slides are probably going to change while I'm mid-thought. That's going to be our reminder to keep on moving. And we're going to break at about 55 to make sure we give you guys about 10 minutes to at least make one call and talk to one human. And we're going to talk about the importance of making sure that we are talking to people on a regular basis. I find it fascinating. Raise your hand or your digital hand if you're zoomed out, if you feel zoomed out. I know a lot of people are talking about they're tired of Zoom. Obviously, we're using that tool right now. The power of Zoom is putting us back into the position that most people claim they're better at. Well, Timmy, I don't want to make calls. I'm better off face-to-face. I appreciate that. But we have the opportunity, at least on Zoom, we have the power of the 7% of our words, the 43% of the power of our words, and the 50% of our body language. So having your camera on is really important. We're going to have those conversations as we get towards break. And I just want you to make sure you get a hold of one person, tell them you care, tell them you're grateful for them, remind them that you're here to help. We have limiting beliefs around making phone calls, but we're going to hopefully crash through that in about 50 minutes. So let's get started. So we're in lead generation now. We're moving through the 4 pillars of this class, and we're in lead generation. We're going to talk about capturing leads with open houses, and we're also going to cover capturing leads with social media in part 2 of tonight. So open houses, what are our thoughts around open houses? When we do an open house, what do we perceive we're doing an open house for? Somebody unmute, raise a hand, give me an answer. What are we doing open houses for?
We like calling on people too. So just so you know.
Getting leads. That's how I got my first deal, was through an open house, and I only been a realtor since July of 2022.
I love that, Terry. Yeah. Yep. Getting leads. What kind of leads are we looking for?
I had buyer.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'd love for you guys to start to tweak your thinking about this. And mind you, our market center, we cover, we have agents that cover Massachusetts, Maine, Vermont, and New Hampshire. We're having a national conversation. So when we talk about questions and best practices, always go back to your local leadership and confirm what you should be doing locally. I would like, as a coach in the ecosystem, to have you tweak your thinking about your open houses and understand that we are sitting in a piece of our marketing and we have the opportunity to prospect for more listings, right? Think about when somebody comes to an open house, 50% of those people might have something to sell. And arguably 50% of the people national average have something to sell. They are subconsciously interviewing us when they're walking into that open house. I'd also love for you to start to think about getting rid of the term open house. Anybody remember Diana Kokoska? Great coach, Diana Kokoska. She talked about the brain loves novelty. If you start to call it a property premiere, a listing launch, anything but open house. Now, I'm not judging you if you're using open house, but if you start to call it something different, you create curiosity and you might attract more people that are willing to inspect what you're doing because you're doing something different. And that's going to drive more traffic and be a benefit for your clients. So we're going to talk about best practices, about how we prepare, how we prospect around it, and how we pursue it. Gary's written a book. My dust cover, we lost it in the fire, but this is my copy of The One Thing. Your open houses could be your one thing. What is the one thing that I could do that such by doing everything else becomes easier or unnecessary? And if you look in Shift, and I know you guys are probably marching around with that, right? The Red Book, MREA, is sort of like the blueprint for the business. Shift is like the playbook for the activities. Page 71 in Shift, they do a 7th level open house. And if you guys in your region have had the Thrive for 25 class come through, we just had Kimber Mankiti and David Voorhees up here. And they have a breakout with a more simplified, not necessarily a 7th level open house, but you could take the machination of a 7th level open house and the activities that you could perform for those and run those every week. And that could be the crux of your business. I think where people fail with open houses historically is they decide. Zoe calls me on a Friday night. She's like, we should do an open house in like 4 hours. We're going to run an open house tomorrow at 10. Spoiler alert, that our open house is going to be terrible, right? Because we didn't plan for it. We didn't really put together an event that's going to attract curiosity and set us apart. We're having another open house, 3 balloons, 4 cookies. Nobody cares, right? Didn't put any signs out. Didn't tell anybody about it. I made a flyer. I put it on my wife's MySpace. Nobody cares, right? Or are we spending a week? Are we spending 164 hours? It's 168 hours in a week, right? 164 hours getting ready for the 4 hours of that day. How do we really prepare for the open house? And we're going to talk about we're going to recap, talk about your ahas. We're going to do this in an hour, if you can believe it. So buckle up. And we're going to talk about our daily success system, why we're doing the things we do, the 10 conversations, adding 10 people to our database, the handwritten notes, and the 10-5-1. We'll talk about that. Nothing else about your business will have as big an impact on it as the number of leads you have, right? Gary always says, they who have the lead control the business. They who have the listing control the profit. You're going to get, if you get anything from Zoe and I in the next 120 minutes, we're going to be very listing based. And it's not because, well, listings are important now. Listings are important always. That'll be on the quiz later, right? I use a lot of food analogies. If you're insulted, welcome. Like we don't need another fat kid. We need more bear claws. I can say that because I'm a fat kid, right? Think about your bakery. You have somebody march in with a $50 bill looking for a bear claw and you don't have any bear claws. You can't really serve your industry. What does real estate require from us right now? We need listings. We have to change our language around that too. We can infect our thought process in the hallways of our market centers when we start to talk about there's no inventory. There's a ton of inventory, ladies and gentlemen. Look out the window. If you're in a dense neighborhood or a sparse neighborhood, I live in the woods of New Hampshire. I can see a few houses from my front window, but there's other houses. Every house on planet America is inventory. It's our job to drag it to the end of the driveway and put a price tag on it. Say yes. That is a listing. We need more listings. We have tons of inventory. It's there. It's our job to bring it to the market, correct? So limiting beliefs we might have. I don't have a listing to hold open. How do we climb that hill? If you don't currently have a listing, and I ask this every time we teach a class, does anybody on this call, just to depart from this list real quick, does anybody on this call have too much money in the bank? Raise your hand. I'd love to hear the story. Cool. We're in the right place. Does anybody on this call have too many listings? Cool. We're in the right place, right? We want to be listing based. So if you don't have a listing to hold open right now, how could you climb that hill? What could you do to make sure that you have a listing to hold open? What would you do? What have you done in the past? Unmute and let me know.
Reach out to other agents who might have a listing and then ask them if we can hold an open house for them.
Amen. Perfect. Yep. And conversely, don't let them call you on a Friday night and say, I want you to run one tomorrow, right? So this is what Zoe and I tell our agents at our market center. If you have a private company Facebook page that you guys all share best practices on, I would invite you to go to your local market center Facebook page. And if you're looking for something to hold open, and this just in, open houses are back. We're seeing lines out the door up here in New England right now. During COVID, people were getting deli ticket machines and holding up signs telling what person to come into the house. They're back, which is awesome. I would go on and I would write it simply this way. Does anybody have an open house this weekend that I can shadow so I can learn your standard, so I can hold one open for you in the future? Because if I see, I'm going to pick on Raymond because he's so good looking and he's paying attention. If Raymond calls me Friday night and he's like, hey, Timmy, I need you to hold the house open for me tomorrow, that's a horror story. I mean, I'll do it and it's going to go horribly wrong. He knows it. I know it. We'll still be friends. But if he's like, dude, come with me this weekend, hang out, watch me do my thing, take copious notes, and then in the future, hold the next one. Now I know, because we always run into the they do, we do, I do. Or I do, I'm sorry, I apologize. I do, we do, they do. Raymond knows how he does an open house. He quickly tells me how to do it, and then he inspects me to do it the way he did it, right? So if we don't have the standard in place of how to do an open house, the playbook, page 71 in Shift, or Raymond has his own playbook, but he has to take me through that process before he can expect me to replicate his standard, right? I don't have any signs yet. You can borrow signs from somebody else. A lot of market centers will have signs you can borrow. Is it possible to have too many signs? Write this down. It'll be on the quiz later. No. You can't tell the average American too many ways how to get to the house, right? And per your town, go back to your local leadership, per your town, there's certain corners you can't put stuff on. We have a lot of towns in our area that get very excited if you put a sign in the wrong quadrant of the wrong corner of the wrong section of town. Like the police get called. It's ridiculous. So make sure you know what you're allowed to do. I may not know the answers to questions visitors have. That's okay. Does everybody have a phone? I'm asking stupid questions, right? Everybody's got a talkie-talkie machine, right? You play Candy Crush, you text your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your kids, they don't reply. It's fun. Whatever. This machine allows you to call other people in your database, namely the agents at your market center, to get questions answered, right? But again, let's go back to Raymond taking me to the property he wants me to hold open. He walks me around the house, tells me about some of the idiosyncrasies of the property, right? This, that, the other thing, blah, blah, blah. He's going to tell me most of the stuff I need to know. If there's anything I don't know, if I can't answer every question. Has anybody been in real estate for like 4,000 years? Who's been here the longest? I'm not going to pick on people, but like if you've been doing this for 25 years or 2 years or 3 months, spoiler alert, you're never going to have all the information. You're never going to know it all. And we always ask our agents to say it this way. Never say to a prospective client, I don't know, I'll find out. Start saying, great question, Mr. Lindsay, I'll look into that for you. You just told me I'm wicked smart and you're about to find out, which is all I can expect from you. Like, oh my God, I'm not buying this house now because Raymond doesn't know everything. But nobody knows everything, right? But we crowdsource our talent. That's the power of our company. Open houses don't really work because most people look online. Yes, I appreciate that. If you have decided on the condo you're leasing, the apartment you're renting, or the house you're buying, when did you guys know? Anybody own the home they're sitting in? If you did, you walked in and there was just the feeling. It went from the structure of the house to your future home. You felt something when you walked in. That's the power of the open house. And getting them into the product, right? It's the tangible asset now. I can look at something online, but then I walk in, I'm like, oh, I can picture Christmas here. I can picture fat Uncle Tony sitting on the couch screaming during the Super Bowl. It's going to be great, right? Like you can start to picture yourself living your life. That's huge. That's why they work. They do work. And we hear this all the time. It's going to happen in a couple of weeks. Who's going to Anaheim? Raise your hand if you're going to Anaheim. And people are going to be on stage with Gary talking about what they're doing in San Diego, Chattanooga, and somebody's going to turn to somebody in row 5, section 8 and be like, that would never work in Maryland. You can't say that because you haven't done it in Maryland yet. So if you've never done an open house in New England, Maryland, Detroit, Florida, you can't be like, well, those don't work. How did you find that out? Stacy told you at the office, right? Until we do it and we keep doing it and we build consistency, we can't say that they don't work because people look online. People will start their search online. People want to affirm their search in person, for sure. I won't feel safe. Every market center has a different code. We call it the orange folder at our market center in New England. If Zoe was at a property, I'm only 5'9". If I'm at a property and I don't feel safe, like I'm not a big guy. Anybody could beat me up, right? If I don't feel safe at a property, you feel that the hair on the back of your neck when it stands up, that's somebody telling you something's up. If you're ever in a situation where you don't feel safe, there's usually a code of ethic, a code that goes through boards or through your office. Ask your local leadership what the code is. What we use at our office is the orange folder. If Zoe was at a property and she felt weird because Tim Lindsay's here and he's weird, he's making me feel weird, she could call and get anybody at our office and say, hey, Chelsea, it's Zoe. I'm at 48 Maple. Do you have the orange file? And everybody at our office, well, most everybody, I shouldn't say everybody, that's categorical. Most everybody at our office knows she needs somebody to go meet her there. And we send somebody out. And some boards have a red card you put under your business card. I would hand Chelsea my business card. She would see the red card underneath, and that would quietly tell her the person I'm with is making me feel unsafe. Absent that, and again, speak to your local leadership. If you feel in dire straits, the code is 911. It's on your phone. Do it. Other than that, when you have an open house, back to the open house, not necessarily the showing, open house, open up all the paths of egress. If the weather is okay, everything, all the doors should be open. If you don't have a mosquito issue where you live, they should be open. And if you have a really large property, you should have a lender there. You should have other people there, right? People will feel served. People will feel cared for if multiple members of your team, and when I say team, I mean other members of your market center. If you're a solo artist, ask some other people to be there for you. And you'd be surprised when you ask, hey, I don't know if I want to be at this house down this long dirt road. I don't want to be on Dateline next month. Can you come hang out with me? People will be fine with it. And it's a chance for them to learn and support each other. It's a huge opportunity. So if you don't feel safe, you should never feel unsafe. So think it through, ask people to join you, put yourself in a great position to be safe and get home. Nothing is worth your life.
And these people who join you, they don't necessarily have to be connected to real estate.
Yep.
In a pinch, bring your mom, bring your brother, bring your boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever. They can sit there silently and
Silent is important. Yeah.
be
You
a
bring
part
on Julie and she's
silently.
like,
They-
I would
they
never
shouldn't
buy
talk.
this house. That's not what we want.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
shouldn't.
if they're not licensed, they can't speak.
They can't speak. However, they can be there for you.
Yeah.
Being another person you can
Mhm.
trust to keep you safe. So
Yep.
they're not in real estate is no excuse. Keep yourself safe. Like, yeah.
And
it's
just to back that up
never
real
worth
quick,
it.
like the open house thing is one thing, just to back that up real quick. And every market center behaves differently. Again, check with your local leadership. We always, and this is everybody. When you're getting ready to meet somebody, it's always most powerful to have them come to the market center. We have beautiful offices at our company, right? First step, if not meeting them somewhere public, the Starbucks, the whatever restaurant you're going to meet them in public. Above and beyond that, if it's, I got to go meet them because it doesn't logistically make sense for them to come all the way to the market center or your business center. You are going to say to them, I appreciate that, Mr. Lindsay. Could you do me a favor? Because earlier I mentioned my wife, Janina. Could you do me a favor? Could you scan through a copy of your license and your wife's license? And then suddenly I'm like, oh yeah, my wife's not going to make it. We got divorced 7 minutes ago. Like suddenly my wife's not coming, but I told you 7 minutes ago she was coming. That should be a tipping point for you that this guy's not for real. Any person, man or woman, who is conscious in North America right now that is watching the news should respect your fact to protect your safety. And to tell them that it is office policy at our market center, check with your local leadership, that if I'm meeting you at the property, I need a copy of your license in my file. Nobody worth their salt should be giving you any stress about that, right? If they don't have something to hide. So please, your safety comes first.
In addition, if we are saying it's office policy 100% of the time. We do not pick and choose,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We don't pick and choose.
Yeah.
If we do this, we do this 100% of the time.
Defend your greatness, guys. Like, listen, think about the manual of paperwork you fill out to go into any doctor's office. And I write like a serial killer, so my wife comes to fill it out for me because she knows more stuff about me than I do, right? In the grand scheme of things, that is a complete headache, and it's worth it because the end game is I need to see the doctor. If we start to treat our professional environment the way other professional environments treat their offices and their worth, we could raise the level of thinking in real estate. We shouldn't be the bottom 3 rungs of the ladder down there with ambulance chasing lawyers and used car salesmen. We created that for ourselves. We start to behave differently in this space. Bold law, right? We teach people how to treat us, right? And we create conversations that people want to grow into. I'm a professional. You're going to treat me as such. I make the rules, right? What's the scene from that movie? I'm the captain now. Like, just tell them. They'll figure it out. And you're going to find out who you want to work with. If they really want to work with you, if they see value with you, they're going to be willing to do the paperwork. So who benefits? Obviously the sellers. Here's the biggest misconception. I think sellers think when we're not working with them that we're out looking for more buyers. And I'm not saying that I'm not looking for the person to buy 48 Maple, but I'm ultimately, as I said to you guys earlier, I'm looking for more sellers. Because unless you live in a real rural area and your sellers are moving out of their house into the woods, it doesn't happen often. They're moving into another house. If you can start to create an ecosystem within your market center, within your team, within your business, where you have clients trading keys and checks, that's a win. Think about how powerful it is moving forward when you're like, awesome, Mr. Lindsay. And the reason you're working with me is last year we helped 48 families. 36 of those families moved locally. 28 of those families stayed in our ecosystem to complete their purchase. That's powerful if you're doing that. So we're focused on making sure that we're looking for more sellers to satisfy our sellers, because every seller is a buyer, again, unless they move into the woods. We obviously want to benefit the neighbors. We want to get them involved in the conversation. Mr. Lindsay, we're having an open house down the street. I know you know the Kirkpatricks and that they're moving. It's an opportunity for you to pick your neighbors, right? And get them involved. I'm going to leverage the neighbors hard for an open house for sure. And obviously you, the agent, but ultimately we're putting the clientele first, right? It's a win-win for the clients. I want it as your coach. I want it to be a win-win for you and your co-broke. There should be 4 wins in the transaction, but we put the clients first. We actually come in between the clients, right? We insert ourselves between the clients to extract emotion, insert logic, and get them to the closing table. Not that you don't get emotional. You're going to develop maybe an unmet to a met to a friendship. Do you really care about these people? Of course. Everybody has warm blood in their veins, but we have to extract emotion and remain professional throughout the transaction to make it a win for them. Anybody who's worked with enough clients, emotion shows up. Yes. We have to make sure we stay placid in that conversation. We don't bring kerosene to the fire. We bring water, right? Before engaging in in-person activities, can we back up real quick? I just want to read that note. Consult your jurisdiction's rules regarding COVID precautions, if that's still happening. And what we have to remarkably respect is if somebody still wants to show up in a mask, that is their choice. Obviously, we're going to do what your office policy is, what your regional policy is. But if somebody's coming in and they want to be in a mask, that is their decision. We're going to respect that. Fellow realtors, all of that kind of stuff. We have to put that aside. People have to just behave in the space politely. We have to treat it like, oh, I don't drink anymore, right? We honor that. We honor if somebody wants a sandwich without onions. If somebody wants to go through your open house and they want to wear a mask right now because they still feel concerned, we don't know what their medical history is. We have to be polite and grace-filled in that moment. So the benefits of an open house, it is inexpensive. It can be inexpensive. It's a phenomenal marketing tool. There's so many avenues for us to tell the story of the open house online without spending money. I know there can be ad spends, but in a position where we want to, and obviously as Gary's talking about, anytime we're focused on making sure that we're keeping an eye on our money, we want to constantly be making cuts and also be leaning into lead generation. So one of the places where we can knock down expenses is there's no need to go crazy with open houses. If you have the signs, borrow signs, whatever the case may be. And I know earlier I said you can never have enough signs. I believe that, but don't go buy more signs because you think more signs are going to make the difference. Ultimately, it's about connecting with people, starting the process of the open house on a Monday and using that entire week to lead generate and lead invite, right? Get rid of lead generation and start doing lead invitation. Make sure you're getting people to the property. Most MLSs have a reverse search. I can go in and see that Amber has 4 clients that are interested in my house. It is my job. It's incumbent upon me to call Amber and say, hey, and most MLSs, I'm reading you a number. I don't know their name, right? But I'm telling you the client number in the MLS of who's already looked at the house 4 times. If you want to send them through or bring them through, I'd love to see you on Saturday, Amber. That's how we do it. If you're doing that, so more often than not, we hear stories. Yeah, I had an open house and put the flyer on Facebook and only 4 people showed up. I'm going to go out on a limb and say you did a horrible job. No judgment. Wow, that was really judgy. But anyway, like in the grand scheme of things, you didn't tell enough people. You didn't tell enough people. We have to tell the story of what we're doing and make sure we're creating something that people want to come to. You know, using a great prospecting tool. Again, I think the reverse search in your MLS is huge. I think above and beyond that, just telling the story. I think door knocking around your open house is such a great idea. If you want to anybody want to take over a neighborhood, are you trying to be the mayor of a section of town? This is how it starts. You get your first listing and I'm going to go door knock that neighborhood that week. And I'm going to knock and I'm going to get, help me with your name. Is it Shashank? Did I say it right? I hope I said it right.
Yes.
Awesome. Perfect. I knock on your door and I'm like, hey, Tim Lindsay, Keller Williams, we got 124 Main Street that we're going to hold open on Saturday. And I just wanted to stop by and introduce myself and make sure you join us. This is what I would always do. We would do an hour private for the neighborhood before we did the public. And I think we get lost in the matrix on open houses. Again, speak to your local leadership. If you're on a team, talk to your rainmaker. I'm not trying to start fights. I'm just trying to offer common sense. I think we get caught up in our feels and we're like, well, we're holding the house open. Like in our area, if you guys are familiar with like where Lake Winnipesaukee is, it's a big vacation spot. And we have a lot of people from northern Massachusetts, North Shore, that buy houses up in New Hampshire around the lake. They're like, well, that's a long car ride. So we're going to hold it open longer so they can not come ever later. Like it doesn't make any sense. If they're going to a movie that starts at 1 o'clock, they're going to plan to be there at 1 o'clock, right? I think you can get your open houses down to 2 to 3 hours. Now you have to know, no matter how long the open house is, Murphy's Law is going to insert itself into the universe. And what's going to happen? Open house ends at 2. They start pulling up at 2:05. It's inevitable. Tell your family you'll be home at 8 o'clock. Just let them know. It's going to be great. You know, so a 2-hour open house, though, 1 hour for the private, the private one. And what that does, it makes the neighbors feel cared for. It elevates their experience. You're starting to tell them they should work with you when they move. And then when the humans show up, when the civilians show up, FOMO kicks in because they're coming for the 12 o'clock open house. There's already people in the building. It's 11:55. They're breaking the rules. What's going on? Why didn't I know about this? And you can politely tell them, oh, we do a special event for the neighbors on the street. I'm starting to create exclusivity. I'm starting to create a club in their head they want to be part of. And I can get the same amount of people if I shrink the time that I'm holding the house open. What if I was going to get 13 groups through? If I get 13 groups through in 3 hours, that's about 2 or 3 groups an hour. That doesn't look manic. 13 groups in an hour looks like a feeding frenzy. You've got people walking back into their car like, Jim, grab your pen, grab the checkbook. We're making an offer, right? If you want to create that perception, I think that's how we do it. We shrink the time. Now you're going to have a lot of people in there. You might not be able to have all the conversations. Goes back to security, goes back to having more people with you so people can vet and answer questions. If your team's process is a 36-hour open house, Godspeed. If you're currently doing 4 hours because you think that's the matrix, I appreciate that. Try 2. Bold law. The activities will expand to the time allowed. You can get the bang for your buck in fewer hours. And you do 2 hours, even 3 hours. Half of it's private for the neighborhood. The other half is for the general public. We got to get out of our own heads. It doesn't need to be 7 hours long. They can still ignore it. And you could make it super sexy and still not tell the story and nobody's going to come. It's really going to be about the communication. What have we heard? How are we doing? Unmute, raise your hand, talk to us.
I love the way you're talking about the open house, shrinking it and then having the neighbors. I think it's a great idea to have the neighbors first. I don't normally do that, but I think it's a great idea.
I think if you tag it to whatever holiday is closest, Gloria, like quite honestly, if you're, I mean, the next thing we're coming up on Valentine's Day, that might even be a little close, but if you do something that's even St. Patrick's Day, the last one I remember that we did really well, it was around Easter/Passover, and we had plastic eggs. And again, I don't want people going through my client's sock drawer, so stay with me on this, but we had plastic eggs and I wrote the number of their address on their egg. I hid it obviously, like you're having an Easter egg hunt for like 2-year-olds. It has to be like obvious. It's out in the open. I don't want people rifling through stuff. And and the mission was tour the house, find your address. And they came back down and there was a coin inside and the coin mapped to a thing that we had on the table and everybody left with some sort of prize.
That's good. That's
It's anything like that. They're walking away saying, what the hell was that? Because most of the ones they're going into, it's 3 balloons, 4 cookies. And the cookies are terrible, as bad as the Smart Water. Just do something different. It doesn't need to be cost prohibitive. Plastic eggs aren't that expensive. Poker chips aren't that expensive. Don't overthink it, overdo it. And start to build it up. It doesn't need to be a 9.9 on the Richter scale this Saturday, but start to do things different. Create exclusivity and create novelty for the people. You will set yourself apart. It's that simple. Start small, stay focused on making it different. Differentiate yourself. Everyone else is doing open houses with 3 balloons and 4 cookies. Nobody cares. Right?
love it.
Said with love. Said with love. Just try to do something different. That's all. Anybody else? What do we got?
When we try to host an open house for another agent, like, is it okay to go for listings that have been there for more than a week, or we should only target listings that are like newer, like a day or 2, or it doesn't matter?
I don't want you to worry about the market condition, like how long it's been on. I also, because here's the thing, you get a chance to cut your teeth in the grand scheme of things. Although what we hear from our clients quite often, the Kirkpatricks have had their house on the market, and our rule up here at our market center is 10 days, no calls, 10 showings, no offers. The internet is spoken, right? But then the Kirkpatrick's going to come back and be like, well, Timmy, maybe we put it on the other internet. There's no other internet. There's one internet. The whole world doesn't care right now, right? Nobody's called me. Nobody's looked at it, or they have, and they haven't made offers. We know the problem. It's not your section of town. It's not your weird driveway. It's the price. So Shashank, unless they are going to make a improvement to the price to get closer to the window of success in your current market, I wouldn't necessarily rush to go do another one. I'm speaking from you as the listing agent. If the Lindsays are asking you to do another open house because they think that's the 7th open house is really going to hit it home. No, we need to make a price change before we go do that. And the script I would use, I appreciate that, Mr. Lindsay. My concern is we're just going to continue to tell the universe that we're still overpriced. There's nothing new at this point, and everyone has seen it. It's been on the internet. Somebody in Dubai doesn't want to buy your house, right? Like everyone has seen it. So price change, something's going to happen. That's going to be, but if you get a chance to go into it for the first one, that's where that opening weekend is when I call it a listing launch or a property premiere, right? It's the first time they're seeing it. People are like, oh, what is this? You're starting with the nomenclature that's going to grab their eyes. Never mind when they get in there and there's hidden Easter eggs, or there's just something different to make it more of an event, not an open house. You can almost hear like the music from The Price is Right. Like nobody cares, right?
Yeah. Shashank, we were lucky enough to be able to share air with Kimber Menkidi for a couple hours.
Yes.
Seriously, you guys, she's
Yes.
amazing. I love
Menkidi
her.
24. I'm voting for.
Very
Anyway, go ahead.
jealous.
Yeah.
And she had a great tip about this, and it wasn't necessarily about the days on market. It was about the neighborhood, right?
Mm.
So Tim mentioned earlier, if you want to become, the king of XYZ neighborhood, does anyone have a listing from your office in that neighborhood? Can you start to just post up there, right? In
Mhm.
some way. I would do that first. Barring that, anyone in your office, like, yes, start anywhere.
Mhm.
And if you want to really narrow it down, start with a neighborhood where you want to be. That's Kimber, not me. Kimber
Mm.
Menkidi.
Yeah, makes
Trademark.
sense. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Attack the neighborhood you want to start to be in. And above and beyond that, sidebar, again, talk to your local leadership, talk to your market centers about how you guys behave in this space. We frequently see on our Facebook page a veteran agent, and there's nothing wrong with this, but I believe there's a wrong choice that could be made here. When an agent says, hey, I've got a house I need open in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. I'm looking for Saturday. Time frame is adjustable. You can either have $25 an hour for 2 hours, or you can have all of the unrepresented buyer leads. I think there's an obvious decision here, guys. Do not step over dollars to pick up pennies, right? I'm going to grab the sure $50. Your average GCI check at our market center is $10,500. I'll wait while you do the math. There's an obvious choice you should make. You always want the at-bats. You always want a chance to serve a family. So if that's ever on the table, always take the unrepresented buyer leads and listing leads if they allow you to do that. But usually it's the buyer leads. So be purposeful, not entrepreneurial, right? And I think we hear this word, it's actually been used too much lately. I'm an entrepreneur. I appreciate that. And what Gary means in this slide is we talk about going from E to P, right? When we get started, one of the 6 personal perspectives is going from E to P. And that's from entrepreneurial to purposeful. When we get started in this industry, our God-given talents just get us so far. And then we have to start to put purpose into place. We have to start, usually we'll start to hit glass ceilings. You'll hit an achievement ceiling in your career. And at that point, with your local coaching staff, your MAPS coach, our conversations that we're having here, Zoe and I are recommending to the agent at this point, you insert a tool, a system, or a relationship. So we want to make sure with our open houses, what does success look like? Are we setting a goal for this? What do we want to do? One of the blessings of COVID, there were like 4, here's one of them. One of the blessings of COVID is we really required people to fill out that sheet when they came in. And a lot of people are using iPads or whatever the case may be, but hey, I really appreciate you guys coming. Hey, Maria, if you could do me a favor, I need your name, phone number. And obviously you want a line there too, where they can write down their agent. And the reason they're going to write that down is so you can contact the co-broke. I can't communicate with Maria and her family after they leave. I'm going to call Shashank, her agent, and say, hey, the press just came through. They really love 123 Main Street. Do you require a second or a private showing? Right. And getting all that content. And we can ask now, as a courtesy to the sellers, we're requiring that everyone signs in, and we could use the excuse before, and it's still valid. If anyone that comes through the house tests positive, we want to be able to alert everybody for your safety. I mean, I don't say it like hey, use it to your advantage. It's not a scare tactic. It is real, but it's been a great thing that's come out of it because more people are willing to write down. And when you tell them, hey, you're writing down your information, even if they grab their one friend who they think might represent them as a realtor to write that down so you don't call them, you still have their information. Gathering that information, because the biggest failure of our open houses is we do gather that content and then we never do anything with it. They're like, where is it? I'm like, I think it's in the trunk under the cookies nobody ate. Like, where all the people that came through your property, you didn't get any use of that information. We want to be calling those people back. So huge. Pick the house, right? Which house do you want? If there's a listing in your market center that you would like to hold open, check with that agent, right? Or go target the listing. One of the biggest failures for us right now is we are forgetting that it's our job to bring the inventory to the market and make it a listing. So just go door knock, right? And I get Chelsea. She comes to the door. Hey, Tim Lindsay with Keller Williams. The reason I'm swinging through, I have a lot of buyers who are looking for a house in a neighborhood like this. We just helped the Lindsays buy down the street. Nobody else is on the market right now. Right now, Chelsea, you have a chance to set the market, not join it later. I think we heard spring in the fall from everybody we talked to. And I actually looked this up today so you guys can steal this. Hey, yeah, Timmy, we appreciate that. We're looking forward to the spring. So because I dorked out today, the vernal equinox is March 20th at 5:24 p.m. And I would use this just to be an idiot and grab their attention. I'd be like, so Chelsea, when you say spring, do you mean March 20th at 5:24? Because that's the exact vernal equinox. Do you mean April 1st? Do you want to start moving at Easter, or do you want to be looking for eggs in your new house, right? There's a lot of information. When they say spring to us, it's such a throwaway word. It's actually French for you're a realtor, leave me alone. We have to start to drill down on clarity of what spring actually means. So finding out what they actually mean when they say spring. Make those calls tomorrow. Do yourself, do your business, do your future, do your legacy a favor. We want to prepare and practice. This is about going with somebody else. Does anybody have an open house that I can join so I can shadow, so I can hold one open for you in the future, or just go on one? And a lot of you might have mentorship programs in your market center, or you have agents that are always willing to let you go. Does anybody have a home inspection I can join? If you're just getting started, I refuse to say new. New was the day your license came in. You're now growing. If you're a growing agent in this industry, just raise your hand. Like, we are a company that shares best practices. And everyone was sitting where you're sitting right now. Is that Wilbert? Hand up from Wilbert.
Yes,
I think-
sir.
Go ahead. You got a question?
Oh, no, I was just answering your question. You said raise your hand.
Oh, I appreciate that. Wow. So interactive. I shouldn't have this much power, Zoe. You know that. Yeah. Everybody touch your nose. I'm just kidding. We're not doing that. We'll play Simon Says later. 8:15 if you want to hang out for that.
I can actually revoke his co-host. Should I?
Well, we had a good run, everybody. Tell Gary I say hi. Yep. Yep. I think go play in the parking lot. What else we got? What's next? Yeah, pick the time. And this is the strategy behind this one. If you know that your house is down the street from the soccer fields, the little league fields, the football fields, find out what the schedule is for those games, right? Like, if I were going to sell Patriots hats, nobody's buying those right now because they're terrible. And Brady quit again today, if you didn't see the news. So if I were selling Patriots hats, I wouldn't go to Gillette Stadium right now in the dark and try to sell hats. I'm going to wait until the season starts, when the traffic is coming through. So if I know that my house is down the street from a Catholic church and mass is at 9 and 11, I'm probably going to make sure that they're going to be out of mass by 12. And I'm going to have my open house after that. I'm going to have my open house going on during the soccer tournament, right? Make it make sense. And I think we need to re-explore doing twilight open houses. People move to have proximity to their office. We love to make fun of Liberty Mutual up here. We call it Bibbity Mutual, which they did in the commercials for us, so I don't get sued for that. So there's a huge campus in Dover, New Hampshire. And if somebody's driving from Bedford to the Dover office, and I have a house down the street that they could live at and they could be home in 7 minutes, I'm going to make sure that I'm doing my twilight open house on a Thursday between 4 and 6. I'm probably going to bring chocolate and coffee and donuts and cigarettes to the HR, maybe not cigarettes, to the HR department at Bibbity Mutual and say, hey, I have a listing that one of your 9 million employees might want. Could you post this somewhere where people will see it? Could you send this out somehow, right? So they're going to hit it on the way home. I think we're like, no, it's got to be Saturday, 10 to 12. That's a terrible idea. If that's not when most of the traffic is going to be coming through.
Yeah.
So we got to
And
think outside the
also,
box with that stuff.
You're here now, right? This seems to be a good time for all of you. What if it was also a good time for your clients?
Mhm.
What if what happens to be a good time for you to hold an open house was also maybe a benefit for your client? You could introduce it to them that way. In fact, I think commuters would love to see your home. I think a better time for them to be able to do that more easily would be from 5 to 7, right? Or some such.
Amen. And here's the thing. I said 4 to 6 because in the grand scheme of things, everybody's looking for a reason to leave work early, right? I just fake it and like grab my phone, be like, oh, it's my mom. I gotta go. And like just start marching out, tell Bob I'll call him in the morning. Just get the hell out of there. Right. But they have a chance now to go see if the house makes sense. And now like, oh, it's 7 minutes. Maybe you don't want to be that close to the office, but a lot of people do. The signs I love when somebody has an open house near a big company and the sign is, if you lived here, you'd be home now. You see it. It's actually on Boston. It's on Storrow Drive. When you're leaving Kenmore, you're leaving Fenway, and there's a condo association right on Storrow Drive. It says,
Massive
if
billboard.
you lived here, you'd be home now. and I'm
used to
driving-
commute
I'm
It's
driving
like
another
an-
hour to New Hampshire. Yeah.
like an hour and 15 minutes. And
Yeah.
I would pass that billboard in my car and be like, I've got
Yeah.
another 50 to go.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
It
Gonna buy a
works.
condo in Boston. Yes. Yep.
I mean,
Prepare the stats. I think this is wildly important. You should bake into your seller's head. And again, if this is your open house, you can do this. You want to obviously run this past the team lead of your team. If you're not a solo artist and you're on a team, or if you're doing one for another veteran agent, ask them if they do this. I think it only makes sense. If Zoe and I had a team, would be so good. If we had a team, we would have, we had 18 listings. I don't know, whatever. I'm going to make sure there's a packet for every one of our other listings at the house. Now, I know the Lindsays, because I've met this guy. He's an idiot. The Lindsays are going to be like, well, why do you have all these other houses advertised in my house? Well, Mr. Lindsay, I'm glad you asked. What we know, feel, felt, found. Great script. I understand how you feel. We had a lot of clients that felt the same way. What we found, Mr. Lindsay, is the probability of somebody coming into this house and deciding it's their future home is pretty slim. What we can do, though, is we can have all of our other listings here. So if we need to send people to other listings in our ecosystem, we could satisfy their needs. And conversely, Mr. Lindsay, listing paperwork about your house is in 17 other houses right now. Right? That's the power of my team and my listing count. So having those stats ready for all the other houses that are for sale in the ecosystem, in the marketplace, and above and beyond that, just the stats about the house, making sure you have all the information they require. And as much information as you could possibly have in front of you to make sure you're answering as many questions as possible. Maria,
what's up?
question, Maria.
I like that, like what you said, but isn't there something like in the listing agreement where in the box, I know we went over in class, where they can opt out for you to talk about other listings in the area? So would that be a workaround for that, or like?
You'd want to gain permission on that. And again, I
Okay.
apologize. Don't forget, we are arguably having a 50-state conversation tonight.
Yeah,
So I
okay.
apologize. Always
That's a
check with your
state
local leadership.
specific Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
check with your
Yep.
broker.
Okay.
Because we run into that in another category with in New Hampshire. There's a box that says they would require assisted showings. And I would always at the very end say, hey, I appreciate that you checked that box. Here's my question for you. I would love to be able to leave a key, not on the front door. I think that's so tacky, unless there's no other door, no judgment. I would love to be able to leave a key in a lockbox on the propane tank in the back on the deck on the grill. And why I would like to do that, Maria, is I want to make sure I may not always be available. I'll probably be available 98% of the time. But if we ran into the opportunity where our team always vets our buyers that are going to come look at the house, if we had somebody who wanted to see your property and I couldn't make it, I wouldn't want that to jam you up. So I would want permission from you to leave a key on the property, and also gain your permission that I could have somebody else from my team or my market center that I know and love and trust, and arguably maybe even just the other agent, because they're licensed and I know and love and trust them, to come and show the property on our behalf. So there is a 1%, there's a 0.01% chance that I might not assist on all the showings. And my effort is to make sure that we get the house sold in a timely fashion. And I don't want to be the sticking point. I don't want to have to arrange 4 schedules to get one house sold for you. And I think when we have, and we go back and we ask permission. So if your state has that about not cross marketing, please adhere to your state's rules and your market center's rules on that.
Thank you for that.
You're more than welcome, Maria. And be safe. Can't say it enough. We have more often than not when we're going on showings, or I know if you're you're a dedicated buyer's agent on a team, your job is when the phone rings and somebody wants to see 123 Maple, you leave your desk, you race down to go meet them. Let's put them through their paces. Let's make sure that you feel safe. Let's make sure that they are pre-approved, have talked to somebody, start to have a conversation and qualify their greatness before you rush out to do that. You know, nobody's ever going to be at your wake and be like, God, she looks great. Yeah, she capped the deal that she risked her life for was her capping deal. That doesn't make any sense. There is not a transaction or a monetary amount that's worth your life. And most of you are at market centers that you probably have so many people around. You're going to meet anybody, be like, Stacy, you're making your calls. Cool. Can you make them from my passenger seat? I just want you to sit in the car while I go and show this house. When you get to a house, if you haven't communicated with anybody and your partner or your spouse, husband or wife, or your dog or your cat couldn't make it, take a picture of the person's license plate at the house, because maybe they're not in the car and they're still circling. If they question, why'd you shoot my license plate? I'm sending it back to my office. They're expecting me in 30 minutes. I would never be offended. I wouldn't be worked up. Write it down. BC fans, Boston College, terrible athletic department, but I'm a BC fan. Yeah. BC fan, terrible. We beat Clemson last night, though. I will take that one. Yeah. In the grand scheme of things, I'm not worried about it. I've got nothing, like, everybody's listening, right? The federal government's listening right now. Hi, Mr. President. Everybody's listening. I've got nothing to hide. Take a picture of my license plate. I just want to buy the house, and I respect your privacy and your safety. Sally Seller. Let's do some paperwork. The difference between big and really big is how you manage your time and focus, right? We all have 168 hours a week. How is it that in 3 weeks, there's going to be some people up on stage with Gary telling amazing stories? And you're like, oh, they have more time than I do. They do not. They are managing it better than us. That's all. And I trust, because we're here at night. A lot of you are dual career agents, and I love that about you. I appreciate your time. Thank you for being here. And what I would tell our agents locally, and what I'll tell you tonight right now, if you have 14 and a half minutes every day that you call your KW time, beat the daylights out of that 14 and a half minutes. Make it hyper purposeful. Make as many dials as you can. Have as many conversations as you can. Affect change for as many people as you can. We are not picking up the phone to talk to people to change the world. I'm trying to connect with my people, remind them I'm alive and I'm here to help. So the next time they're transactional, the last person from our industry that called them, that made them feel heard and cared for, was you. That's how we win. We want, with our open houses, to make sure we prepare our mindset and practice conversations, right? It's so funny because we get started and you start scripting, and we're scripting on the phone. I actually have a landline here. Isn't that great? Got it back in 1938. We're scripting to be on the phone to set the appointment. Then we get to the appointment. There's a whole set of scripts for that. Then we get to the point where we are writing contracts. We have to negotiate that conversation. We're negotiating with the other broker about the contract. We have to negotiate our buyers through the through the inspection process. Has anybody joined real estate most recently that you haven't actually done a closing yet where inspections were involved? It's a whole brave new world right now. Maria, go ahead.
I'm new to real estate. I just started real estate in December.
Okay. So when your license landed, Maria, you were new. You're growing now. Don't say new anymore.
Yeah, I'm growing. Correct.
Amen, sister. Amen. Love it. So yeah, without fail, we want to make sure that we understand that it's changing now. We're going back to a skill-based market. It was speed-based before. It's skill-based now. We have to understand inspections, appraisals, and all that kind of stuff. So here's the roadmap. We were talking about this. This is the 7th level open house, page 71 and shift, right? Monday, pick the house. It's a week-long process. Tuesday, post online that it's coming. Walk the neighborhood, invite the neighbors, tell them about your 1-hour private event for them. Doesn't have to be crazy. You can have a mocktail there, right? If it's almost Mother's Day, make a mocktail. And then when you go see your mom, add vodka, because you're going to be with your family and you probably need a splash of vodka to tolerate. Yeah, am I speaking outside my head right now? I just did Dryuary. I'm very excited for today. So Wednesday, post online again. Here's the thing. We put it on MySpace once. We're like, everybody didn't see it. We know, right? And the algorithm has changed, right? Our dear friend,
Don't worry,
friend at
algorithms
Facebook.
are coming. It's going to be so soon.
It's
in
yes,
like
Zoe
5
Zoe
minutes.
will talk about the algorithms. Yes. But our dear friend Mark Zuckerberg, hi Mark, you look terrible. Mark Zuckerberg at Facebook is making sure that your people aren't seeing all the things. We think we post something and everybody sees it. They don't. We have to overtell our story about our open houses. Thursday, post online again, invite your database. Right. And midweek, you're posting the sign in the yard. Great coach Tom Ferry actually has a really fun sign. He puts one in the front yard that says, please don't come inside. Counterintuitive, but it creates curiosity. And what do Americans love to do? Ignore the rules. They're marching right in. Where are the donuts? Where are the cookies? Where are your 3 balloons? We want to keep posting online, keep telling our story. You can never tell people enough, right? And I know you guys see this at the market center level. Your leadership team might have posted something 3 weeks ago. You still haven't seen it because it's not showing up in your personal news feed because Zuckerberg's algorithm is terrible and he's trying to ruin everybody's life. If I get shut off, tell the world my story. I pick on Mark Zuckerberg a lot. Anyway, and then
Again,
Friday,
it
post
already
online.
happened once.
Yeah, that happened already once. Post online again. You can't tell your story enough. You can't tell your story enough. Prepare the market stats, print the flyers. And then at some point, I would argue do it Thursday. And do it. And you obviously want to do it when you're going to get people. Don't go Thursday during the day while everybody's at work and school. Go and bring somebody with you so you're safe and knock the doors and invite them and say, hey, Saturday, 10 to 12, we have an open house. From 10 to 11, I'm only inviting you and your friends here in the neighborhood, a private event for the neighborhood. I trust you can come. Looking forward to seeing you. We're going to do something with an Easter egg hunt. Everybody's address is going to have an egg in the house. I'd love you to come find your egg. And before the door closes, this is so important. Before the door closes, Shashank, I really appreciate you spending a few minutes with me. Quick question for you. Why did you move here and why have you stayed? And then Shashank tells me, well, we moved here for the association and we stayed for the school system. I'm going to go back to my car, which for me is brain damage because I'm not studious like Zoe is. I'm going to make a note or I'm going to use my command on my phone. And I'm going to say, Shashank moved here for the association. He stayed for the school system. So I can look at that real quick when I have my next open house. Shashank, how you doing? Tim Lindsay. We have another open house going on this weekend. And I check in with you, blah, blah, blah. How are things? All this stuff. Hey, last time we spoke, Shashank, you said you had moved here for the association. You stayed here for the school system. Has that changed? He's shutting the door now saying, how in the world did he remember that? I didn't. I took notes and I used my CRM. Our CRM is not there to manage our people. Our CRM is there to manage us. And if I can make Shashank feel heard and cared for every time he opens and closes that door, every engagement with Tim Lindsay Productions, he feels heard and cared for, I will win every time. I will be the mayor of that neighborhood. No one in that neighborhood will list with anybody else. And if they do, they don't get an egg. That's my rule. Clearly, they won't get an egg unless some other realtor steals my idea, which you should all steal. Community and neighborhood information. And don't forget, when you're working with your buyers, and we have our KW general disclosure we have a KWCLM general disclosure at our office. Your offices probably have something similar where you talk about hazmat and Megan's Law and all that kind of stuff. We don't go do that for them. We make our clients aware of the research they can do. You guys know what I'm talking about. Megan's Law, right? I can't go tell Chelsea, hey, I checked with local authorities yesterday and there's nobody in the neighborhood. I need her to go do that because somebody could move into the neighborhood the next day. And now I'm wrong. And now I'm liable. We invite our clients to do the due diligence. Okay. Relocation information. And this is going to be obviously if there's an opportunity for them to understand if they're coming into an association, if there's something that they need, there's something that's super special about them getting here. This is a huge opportunity for you as well to make sure that you have all your allied resources. When you're making your phone calls, whenever you're making your phone calls, and we're going to jump into those because we're running late. Nobody should be shocked. We're going to jump into those calls. I would love for you guys, the call you could make right now. Do you know anybody who owns a small business? Do you know a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker, a landscaper, a barber, somebody who owns a butcher shop, right? Because you want to, when people are relocating, you want to be able to give them the list of all the places they're going to want to go. If they're new to town, where do I get my haircut? Where do I get the best cupcakes? Where do I get steak tips? Who's my landscaper? Who's my general contractor? Who's my painter? First-time buyer specifics, right? Things that they're going to want to understand about their first move and getting involved, having a lender there. We're very fortunate. Our favorite lender is like 6'2". So he's security and he's a lender. He can sit with Chelsea right there on the spot and run her math. She can find out if she's dangerous enough to buy the house on the spot. Bradley Kelly, Movement Mortgage, we adore him, right? So have your lender there. You're doing them a service. You're cross-pollinating your people with his people. It's a phenomenal opportunity. We want to prospect. We want to build trust and rapport. I know we have these micro conversations when people are at open houses. Be authentic. Square your shoulders. Look them in the eye. Ask them questions. Make them feel heard and cared for. You have a millisecond. It's almost like speed dating when they're rolling through an open house. If there's a lot of people, you want to make sure you connect with everybody, right? And you want to make sure in the moment they feel heard and cared for. And capture information and qualify leads. Make sure they're filling out that hit sheet so you can get back to them. We want to greet everybody that comes in the door to the best of your ability. If you have a greeter at the front door because you're in the kitchen or out on the deck, whatever the case may be, I just said this, engage in the conversation. Don't have passive conversations. They're about to decide. We always joke about this. Friends of mine that are female are always like, oh, I would like if I'm single and I meet a guy I know in the first 7 seconds. I know whether I care to go on a date, if he's going to hit on me or whatever the case may be. They feel that way when they see the home. They feel that way when they meet you. They're making a very quick decision. First impressions matter. I love your aunt that told you, oh, it doesn't matter. You'll get another. No, you won't. First impressions matter. We got to show up in the moment. We have to be professional. We are helping these people with the largest financial transaction of their lives, unless they're buying jet skis and boats and additional houses and skyscrapers. I don't know. Most Americans, this is it. So show up, be professional, and be positive. Everything's great. It's all great. You have to be the sunshine for them. Know your team stats. If you don't have team stats or you don't have your stats because you're a growing agent and you just landed, steal the market center stats. That's why you join KW. You get to steal our numbers. Understand personality types. If your market center brings you through your paces and you do your DISC assessment, you do your KPA, understand when, and not to judge people, but when somebody rolls up to me pretty quickly at this point now, being around this industry long enough, I know like, okay, this is Ted. He's an engineer. He's high D, high C. He wants all the information yesterday. I'm Dr. Talks a lot. He does not want to hear me talk and talk and talk. He's going to walk up and be like, did this house ever have a flood in the basement? And I'm going to be like, yes, Ted. And I'll bring him down. I'll be like, that's where it flooded. World famous in New England in 2005, the Mother's Day flood, heaven flooded. Jesus's feet got wet. Like everything flooded in New England in 2005. And Ted wants to know that. I'm not going to tell him the story of the flood. Doesn't want to hear it. Doesn't care about Noah. I'm just going to show him where the water line is. He'll be thrilled. Tab A, slot B. Now, Ted's partner might be more like me. Wants to hear all about the flood, how I felt during the flood, what I was wearing, right? We have to know and mirror and match our conversations. And then have something to offer the visitors. Make sure they're leaving with something of value. Make sure they're leaving with some stink on them. Like, oh, I got Lindsay'd. I got a flyer. He had amazing cookies, not crappy cookies. There were 7 balloons. There was a bear on a unicycle. Like, what are they leaving with? What are they going to tell their friends? Like, we went to a listing launch. What's that? I'm not sure. My wallet's missing. Like, they had a great time. Like, they were at Lollapalooza, right? Have the sign-in sheet. Make sure you're using Command to store your notes. Use the KW app. You can start to infect people's phone. Get the consumer app on their phones. Oh, it doesn't matter. Every brokerage has an app. Yeah, they have an app that's tied to the brokerage. You have an app that's tied to you. It's the digital business card they're never going to lose. Because a lot of growing agents are like, I'm waiting for my business cards to come in. Nobody cares. You know what they do with your business card that they never asked for, that you shove down their throat? You know what they do with it, right? Be intriguing enough that they ask for the business card. Charity, go ahead.
I'm just wondering if there's any, how do we make people download our apps and actually use our apps? Even my best of friends are like, oh yeah, you've got an app, and no one will download it.
Well, I think that's gonna speak to motivation. If they're motivated to be in business with you, if they're intrigued enough, and this is what I would do, this is how I'd get around this, is make them feel wicked smart, Charity. So I'm going to say, hey, Charity, you know what? When we were at school together, I know you're a marketing major. I've got this new tool and I just trust your advice. I know you'll shoot straight with me. Can you download this and kick the tires and give me some feedback?
I like that.
Unless she has a I'm going to pick on a phone. Unless she has a Google Pixel 2 from 1978 and she's out of storage, she's not deleting the app. Nobody's deleting the app. And now that she has your app on her phone, when she shares it, because now your other friends find out that they have your app, it creates FOMO and they start sharing the app. Don't overthink it. But they're always going to be willing to help you when you tell them they're awesome. And this is why you're asking for help. You're not saying download my app, buy a house. You're saying support my business. Love me as a friend. And I'm coming to you because you're wicked smart, because you're a marketing major. You have a great eye for these things. I know you're good with tech. Make something up. But
Good
make her
idea.
feel awesome, and you're coming to her so she can kick the tires and then tell you what she thinks. Don't overthink it.
I like it.
Follow up and convert the leads after the open house. This is the biggest part. And this has to happen. If you're a maniac, you might be starting the seventh level open house for next Saturday. You also have to be doing the follow-up from the last one. Sounds like a lot of work. I'm telling you right now, if you do 7th level open houses every weekend and you're like, I couldn't possibly do that, don't have enough listings, you'll get there. This could be your one thing. There are teams in our country, 7th level open houses, listing launches, property premieres are their whole business. You can make this happen. And if somebody in your market center is like, that would never work in Maryland, punch them in the face and get back to work. I'm joking. Don't do that. But like just give them a wake-up call. Go prove yourself right. It's not about proving people wrong. It's about proving yourself right. We're not allowed to say that it doesn't work if we haven't done it. It doesn't make any sense if you really think about it. Follow up with all the attendees. Follow up with their agent. If they wrote down an agent's name, you're calling the agent. We cannot cross over that relationship. Don't forget that when you're meeting a client in the front yard of your listing and their agents with them, you hand nothing to them. You hand everything to the client. The agent is the conduit to the client. Never break that trust. Reevaluate the goals you set, right? We've done the activity now. How did it go? What could we do differently? What are we looking for next time? It's always going to be wash, rinse, repeat. And your open houses are going to get better and better and better and better and better. So there's the roadmap for the open houses, best practices, the benefit
hold
of
on.
doing it.
Wait,
Go
stop.
ahead.
I'm cutting you off. We're
Mhm.
like so overtime. This
We're
is
super
here
overtime.
so that you can either take a screenshot and also for posterity for the recording so that you can see the whole thing. But we're not talking through it because Tim just did. We're just-
Oh,
I know.
this is why she's here. I'm
here
sorry,
to
guys.
be the
Yeah.
asshole in the room.
Yep.
Okay. So we're gonna stop now.
Okay.
I'm not gonna stop video. Hold on, but I'm gonna stop sharing. Let's be realistic. We're gonna run a little late tonight. Not too
I
late.
apologize, guys.
But it's okay. We're skating there. But we do want to give you the opportunity to have a water break if you need it, and or maybe text at the same time, whatever. Make a call, make contact with another person tonight, right now.
Here's my challenge. Most of us are on the Eastern Seaboard. Yes. We're nodding. Yes. Most of us. Doesn't matter. Everyone's awake in the country right now. I'm going to issue this challenge to you. And you could make this all of your calls for the rest of forever. I'm going to ask you right now to think of one person. You just thought of that person. I'm going to ask you to call that person and share your gratitude for them with them. We've got the math. Nobody on planet America is going to be offended if you call them right now and say, I was thinking of you today. That is the lead sentence in the story. Hey, Chelsea, it's Timmy. I was thinking of you today. You know what? I'm so glad that our kids started to play soccer together. Just drove past the field where we met. I trust you guys are well. I'm so sorry. Here comes the mea culpa. This is Latin class from 1983. I'm so sorry it's been so long. I'm glad I got a hold of you. I trust you're well. You got to be positive. I trust you're well. How are you? I'm going to leave an open space for her to tell me if she's good or not. This is not about sales. It's about you reconnecting. Think about the person that if they called you in 2 days after you don't call them tonight, you're going to want to punch yourself in the face. It happens all the time. Like, oh my God, I was going to call Chelsea. Now she's calling me. I could have won that. It's like adult battleship. And don't say, well, I can't call her. I haven't talked to her since 1982. Pick up the phone, call somebody, tell them you care about them. You're grateful for them. Go.
What if
We'll
we get
start back at
stuck in a
7:20.
5-hour conversation?
No,
Well-
that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. You're going to do something in a few minutes. You're calling to check in.
Yeah.
Don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Don't overthink it. Come back at
Start-
7:20.
Start with that. Hey, I have to be somewhere at 7:20, but I didn't want to forget. I really wanted to say hi. When's
Yep.
the next time we can catch up?
I meant to call you this morning. It got away from me. I'm not letting this get away from me. I wanted to call and tell you I love you. I care for you. I'm so grateful for you. Tie it to how you met them. Make it authentic, make it real, make it transparent, make them feel cared for. You do this, you'll always win.
We believe in you. You can do it,
Be
Charity.
back at 7:20, kids.
All right. And we're back.
I'm mainlining peanut M&Ms.
right?
So healthy.
I just ran down the office hallway in my socks.
We need
Delivering.
office slippers. Does anybody have market center slippers?
Oh, I used to have studio slippers. Should bring them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we need what are those called? The big fat hoodies that look like blankets.
Snuggies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Market center snuggies.
Yeah. Although I will say it's like Tahiti in my office right now. It's very
It's not down here.
warm.
Yeah.
It's great. I'm not complaining. Don't change. a
I'm
thing.
not
It's
complaining.
Lovely.
We nobody cares, but here's the story. Our HVAC has been broken since 1912. I don't know. It's never. We have four different climates going on in our building. There's skiing over on the other side. I've got frost on my monitor. Gonna be great. Gonna be great. Gonna hang meat in here. Anyway,
All right. Who's back with us?
who talked to a human and how did it go? And yeah, a couple people raised their hand and nobody's bleeding. So you survived. And that's good.
I
Who wants to
talked
share?
a human.
Who wants to share? Charity, go ahead.
No, I talked to a human.
Oh, I love that. And how did it go?
He was really happy I was still in class and learning stuff.
Okay.
That was it.
Okay. Well, my point is they didn't swear you off the phone, right? I think number one limiting belief when we're picking up the phone, number one limiting belief is, well, I don't know what to say, or I don't want to be salesy, which really can break down to, I don't think that I'm offering value. And here's a life hack. If you don't want to be salesy, you're going to want to write this down. If you don't want to be salesy, don't. That's it. Just don't be salesy. That's fine. Right? Like it's the Adele script, right? Hello, like that. Just start the conversation, have a normal conversation. And when you ask them about Bibbity Mutual or Hewlett Packard or wherever their godforsaken corporate commitment is, they're going to be like, oh my God, I hate my job. And you'll be like, oh, that's too bad. And they think you work where you might still work or where you used to work. That's your opportunity. Hey, I'm really glad you asked about Bibbity Mutual. I actually got my license. I'm pursuing real estate and I want to help 36 families this year. Who do you know that I should know? Who do you know that I can help? Who do you know that I can serve? And you didn't have to get there tonight. I want you guys to just start to nurture people back into conversation with you.
Maria, how about you? You have your hand up. How was it?
It was good. I didn't speak with them directly on the phone, but I was direct messaging them through Instagram, and
Mhm.
she downloaded the app. So it went good.
Hey, perfect.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yep.
Congrats. Who else? Raymond, you're still alive. Did you speak to any humans?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Got a good response, and we're going to see where that goes.
Love that. I feel like Raymond and I are chair buddies. Do we both have the same?
You
thing?
do. I
Do
actually,
you have the,
I
ti-
almost
do you have the
put it-
Titan?
I do.
Yes, sir. Yeah. My TL Jeff is convinced I only got it because the Titan, it's got the T on it. He's like, is your chair monogrammed? I'm like, no. But I'm here all day. I want the most comfortable chair. I love these chairs.
I said the same thing.
Yes. Amen. Amen. Do me a favor, guys. When we talk about Ignite, we're going to get to it as we get to the end real quick, or maybe we don't. But I'm going to remind you guys, it is 10 conversations a day, not 10 dials, 10 conversations. Now, if yesterday was 0, 2 would be amazing today. So do not lose your mind about, well, I'm never going to get to 10, so I'm not going to start. Well, the bus for Kohl's leaves in 10 minutes. We can all go fold t-shirts. Let's just assume that it's going to take some time to get the courage and the efficiency and the excellence to get to 10. If you're not there yet, if you're at 10, let's get to 20. Gary would say in Ignite, 10 should be 20, and in Bold, 20 should be 40, because we should be doubling down, right? People will be like, oh, yeah, double down during a shift. Double down always. Because if you don't have the listings that you need right now to hit your goals, we need more. That means we need to have more conversations. Most agents on planet America aren't doing enough right now to build the business that they truly want. And you guys are here after hours tolerating my face. So I know that you are remarkably patient and smart enough to be in a learning-based mindset right now.
Capital
So we love
T,
that for you.
dedicated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we love that for you.
Huge respect. Okay. We're gonna,
Social
I'm gonna be
media.
really aggressive about
Yep.
speed here.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'm doing the best I can for you guys.
Yep. Are you leading off or you want me to go?
Oh, I can go. Yeah, happy to.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I feel like Tim's gonna stop
Social
talking.
media.
This is great.
Leads with social media. You can get leads with social media. Maria just got one.
Yeah.
Direct messaging
Amen.
on Instagram,
Mhm.
like in our 5-minute break. Maria just got one. Maria could teach this class. Would you like to, Maria? I know you've got a little one. You're probably hands busy.
Yeah, no, no.
She's like, I'm good.
I
I'm good.
just got him to
Thank
go
you.
to sleep.
So by the end of tonight, just before bedtime, you will know the 10-5-1 engagement system. This
Mhm.
is, I need to grow my social media. Okay, 10-5-1, 10-5-1, 10-5-1. Posting practices, AKA what do I post? When do I post them? Social media strategies. This is content. This is commenting. This is follow-up. Recap and ahas. We'll see how fast we're going. Daily success system, ditto. Okay, let's go.
It takes time to learn something, more time to implement it, and even longer to approach mastery of it. The key word in that entire quote from Gary is mastery and understanding. When we talk about mastery, there's a number attached to this, and you'll hear people talk about this all the time. The general understanding of to get into mastery is to have 10,000 hours in the discipline. Raymond's like, I'm not going to stay on the phone for 10,000 hours. I got to get to bed tonight. Anyway, 10,000 hours. What we need to remember, we have to get out of our fields. We need to remember it. It's not that you're going to be a master of the discipline. You're going to be a master of yourself in the discipline. Wildly different, right? If I'm going to go study karate, which I think I said it right, but I probably didn't. But I think if you take it, you'll say, yeah, it was close. Which is defined as open hand. I'm never going to be better than Bruce Lee. I'm confident in that. I'm 5'9" and I'm awkward, but I can be a master of myself in that art, right? Where he might be considered by many people the master. So the 10-5-1 engagement, the understanding behind this is that we are going to have 10 likes or hearts. So think about when you go on social media, and this is daily. And this doesn't need to be across all mediums. Pick the social medium that you are going to play in that space. And I appreciate people like, I don't like social media. Cool. And I love you and get over it. The humans are online. So find the one that you're going to play in best and make sure while you're in there, that you're doing 10 hearts or likes on other people's comments.
Yeah.
That's what the 10
Wait.
is.
While we're going through this, if everyone wants to put in the chat, which one or two, please, dear Lord, do not give me 10
Yeah.
platforms that you are on and you are focused on. 1 or 2. Which ones are we focusing on here in the chat?
The 5 is 5 comments. So I'm going to make sure I have 10 hearts or likes on other people's stuff. I'm going to have 5 comments. And I heard somebody say this, make sure your comment is more than 5 words. Our fearless leader, our regional director up here in New England, his name is Nathan Dick. He's also our OP and a good friend of mine. And he is a high D. I'm a high I. I'm Tacosaurus Rex. I will type him my little heart out. I'm thumbing away and I'm sending him this big long message. And Nathan responds, hey, which to me is the middle finger of texting, right? So I don't want you to go on to people's things and they're like, my kid graduated today, and you're like, cool, or K, or make it more than 5 words. Make it substantial. So 5 comments of 5 words or more is a great rule of thumb. And then next and finally, 1 post of your own.
Or direct message. Or a share. Right? That's why it's 1, not 3. It's an or, not an and. Usually we're and here,
Yes.
right? This time we're or.
And you'd be surprised if you're not active on social media, if you just start liking people's stuff and then commenting, it will start to affect how they feel about you. Make them the star of the show. They are the star. You are on the cast. You're making them the star.
All right. Posting practices. What are we going to post? What on earth?
super important. This is where we flip Pareto's principle. You guys are familiar with this, right? Pareto's principle, the 80-20 rule. 80% of our 80% of our business comes from 20% of our efforts, right? And we flip this on its head so it feels counterintuitive. When you get into your business page, depending on how you behave, and for the most part, Facebook is pretty standard on this one. If you start to post business stuff on your personal page, you will get shut down. So we would invite you guys to make sure you have a Facebook business page, talk to your local leadership about how they want you to behave in that space. You have a Facebook business page tied to your personal page. And some people are like, I don't like Facebook. I don't want a business page, or I don't want to be on Facebook. You can just have a personal page that has nothing on it, so you can launch your business page. On your business page, because your personal page is pictures of your cat, you surfing, your family, birthdays, all that kind of stuff. When you go over to business, you're like, oh, this should be all business. No, we know that people aren't going to respond to that. So make it 80% personal. And it doesn't need to be a replication of your personal page, but you want to make it stuff about the town. You want to start to tell the story that you're the mayor of the town in which you want to conquer. 20% of it should be business. So you want to remind people that you're in business and you're doing things. Remember, we take our personal page and we're going to ask everyone that's connected to us on our personal page to go like our business page. They can do that. Don't forget, the algorithm is not going to let them see all the things anyway. But if I start to realize that every time I see Shashank coming down my newsfeed, and I'm like, oh my God, he's going to tell me he had another closing, I'm just going to shut it down. I can like your page and unfollow it.
And
right?
you
If
would
I
think
don't
would
feel,
still,
if I
like,
don't feel value, right? But when I know, oh, here comes Stephanie, here comes Emily, here comes Yvonne. And I know, hey, last time Yvonne had an open house, she talked about the mocktail she made, and then she added the adult cocktail for Mother's Day. Saturday at my open house, I did blah, blah, blah. She mentioned open house. That's all she talked about. She talked about the mocktail, and she talked about on her Saturday open house before Mother's Day, she brought that mocktail to Mom's house and added vodka so Mom would go to sleep and stop talking. We do it to my mom too. It's fine. She's put a little sheet over the bird cage. So in the grand scheme of things, don't overthink it. Make sure you are relatable. Make sure you're creating value for your people.
This one too. If anyone has like a set personal thing or things that they post about, put that in the chat, share that in the chat. I will say one thing I wish I could do is to encourage every real estate agent to get some kind of cute pet. The internet, pets win.
The world needs more chickens.
I don't know what else
Yes.
I can say. Cats, dogs, puppies, cute guinea pigs, like chinchillas. Honestly, they're so cute. Pets win, right? People travel and work out. Yes. Love that. Love that. So what are your things, right? Lifestyle. I met someone today. He lives on an island, like by boat, like a car cannot get there. And he has a dog whose job it is to chase away the seagulls from his property. I was like, that's it. That's your entire social media strategy right there is Sean the dog chasing seagulls. That's it. Nothing more. Island
Scaring
life.
away the sea chickens. Yeah.
Like,
It sounds.
yeah, the end. All right. We got anime and computers, travel and workout. Only 2 people. Come on, you guys.
Love it. Well, and then the other thing, and this goes back to Jason Abrams. He talks about this all the time. What are you currently near that you're not in? Like, what are your interests? What's the commonality that you could share with other people? So when they get into relationship with you, you all love mountain biking. You all love chickens. You all have golden retrievers, like whatever the case may be. Because then the wall starts to break down. They realize that the connection point most often is you and the commonality you share with them. When they become transactional, the reminder is you shared the picture of your Peloton bike that you just got. And strategically in the background is your sign that says Raymond Real Estate, right? And like, oh, he didn't really blast it. It's in the background. It's pretty cool that he did that, but he was really talking about fitness and his goals for 23 and his brand new Peloton Plus bike, which is way overpriced. But anyway, we'll get to that later. Yeah, so that, and then again, you know, the real estate poster about your listings, your open houses, welcoming the Lindsays to the new city, that kind of stuff. I back to other industries. Does anybody on this call have a dentist in their life that is posting about their root canals and fillings and cleanings? Nobody cares. unless I'm in the chair, unless it's my root canal, my filling, my cleaning. But wait, we're pounding our chests on the internet like, oh my God, I got 2 more listings. Like the general public doesn't care unless it's their listing. So let's talk about how we're the mayors of our towns. Remind them casually and strategically that we're involved in real estate, but make it valuable for them every time they see you. So when they become transactional, you're the no-brainer. Not like, oh my God, here he comes again, talking about another closing. Nobody else brags about the industry the way real estate does online, and we have to be better. Just be better. I'm not going to, no judgment, be better than that.
Actually, well, it's fair because we're judging literally everyone. That's what makes it fair.
Yeah,
Across the
different.
board,
Be different.
non-discriminatory judgment,
Yeah.
everybody.
Think about it this way. We've got people that when you look down at your phone and somebody's calling you and somebody you adore calls you, you can't wait to pick up. You're like, oh my God, awesome. You get excited. I want your people to feel that way when they see you coming in the news feed. Because we also have people on the phone rings and you're looking like, oh my God. I don't want, this is going to voicemail. Then they text you like, your voicemail's full. I'm like, yes, for you. It's for you. I did it for you. So let's be valuable.
Maria, do you have a question or comment? By the way, just in case
Oh,
anyone was wondering, Maria
yeah.
won the social media choices. Maria, YouTube, I love you.
Perfect. Perfect.
Thank you. No, I was just saying, as far as like the platforms when you guys were like pick 2, I know like for me, Facebook, I'm not really like a big fan, but Instagram and Facebook are the same thing. So if you pair your accounts, especially with business accounts, you can just post it once and it'll post to both platforms, whichever one. I mainly use Instagram. So if I post on Instagram, it's going to post on Facebook. So I don't have to worry about it.
Yes,
Yep.
love it. Yes.
I
yes.
appreciate
Do
that.
more with one post. Absolutely.
And I'll also throw out a cautionary tale too. Don't forget that all of those different mediums are talking to different people. So I wouldn't want to slow traffic. And here's my only thought around that. I appreciate that it cross-pollinates because they're both from Meta. Zuckerberg, he's so cute. So I appreciate that. And when I post something on Facebook and it automatically goes to Insta, now I've got my friend Stacy who no longer goes to Insta because she knows she sees it on Facebook. There's no new content over there. So just in the mindset of if you're posting something on LinkedIn, that's a different conversation than Insta is. Then like Insta is like the beers around a campfire at the beach. Facebook is your aunt, right? LinkedIn is a professional space. It's a professional cocktail mixer, right?
LinkedIn is
Just-
also underutilized by real estate.
1000%. Yep.
It is a
Yep.
fantastic platform,
Mhm.
absolutely fantastic platform to connect with other professionals. Yeah, so in the grand scheme of what's most valuable for you, it goes YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, everything else right now.
And don't overthink it. And which one should you use?
Please.
Go ahead.
YouTube, LinkedIn. What did I say? Facebook,
Mhm.
Instagram, and everything else. Yeah, Shashank.
Yeah, just wanted to know like what are some of the things that we can post on YouTube, like videos, like what kind of videos we can post on YouTube.
You name it. Shashank, you said you're interested in travel and workout. Yes.
Yeah, well, and
What
don't
kind of
overthink it
videos
too.
can you make about travel and workout, right? Travel, I would say probably relates most to real estate. Let's try to like link that somehow. Become the mayor. This is where it's best to become the mayor of your town, right? That's the easiest thing. Content, walk outside.
Mhm.
What's there, right? Make a video about that, talk about that. People want to know what it feels like to live in X neighborhood, Y neighborhood, Z neighborhood. Bring them there.
Yep.
Tell them how that is.
Go to the gym, go to the smoothie shop. And don't forget, I think we think about YouTube and you're thinking, oh my God, it's got to be 16:9. It's got to be 8K. It's got to be ultra produced. Stop it.
Nope.
YouTube now has shorts. Shorts are like reels on Insta, right? So just start doing YouTube shorts. And when you realize, hey, you know what? I'm actually going to sit down. I'm going to get a microphone. I'm going to start doing long form. I'll do some open stuff. I'll go live. I'll take questions. But just like with your CRM, if you're not using Command or whatever you're using, when we ask, well, which CRM should I use? Which medium should I use for social media? The one that you'll use.
Mhm.
Pick one, lean in, break it. It's going to be okay. And understand the authenticity. I mean, it's funny. We have so many people that are really good with social media up in our market center. And some of the most popular videos is when they run their snippets at the end of the year of all the stuff they screwed up. Because they put out these perfectly curated Oscar-winning videos, but then they play all the sausage being made behind the curtain. They get the most hits because they're being authentic. They're being transparent. They're being human.
Also,
People wanna do
like
business
to
with
see
people
when
they
we screw
trust.
up. So if we can laugh at ourselves, that's
Yep.
the best thing.
Yep.
Please don't spend any money to do this, right?
Mm.
This is not a CRM, but it is a YouTube machine.
Mhm.
Yes, don't spend any extra money, please. Until you get 10,000 followers, no more money. You don't
Yep.
have to, right?
You've
This
got-
is just fine.
You've got a camera. I mean, the whole push behind when iPhone 13 hit, the 13 Max, the one that I'm holding, their whole thing was they're shooting movies with these now, right? Like you're carrying a movie studio in your pocket. Hit record. Limiting belief. I don't like the way I look or sound. This just in, kids. This is how you look and sound every day. You actually sound differently. You're listening with your inner ear. You might sound better or worse on the outside. I'm not really sure, but you're going to hear yourself
It's
recorded.
better.
Tolerate I've dealt with the fact that I'm dealing with an old catcher's mitt for a face. I sound this way. It's been 51 years of I can't help this. I have to hit record. I have to hit send. I have to hit play.
Yeah, I did post a couple of videos, like I was driving in a neighborhood, so I just posted a video about that. And
Mhm.
I posted a video about an open house I did. So I did post a few
Yep.
videos, but I wanted to know more ideas. So that's good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Super casual. Just hit record, post it. People want real stuff. People love it. Love it.
One
And you'll
question.
find your tribe. Don't get caught up in the likes and the play counts. The people will find you. Find your tribe. Be yourself. Be authentic. Your tribe will find you.
Yeah, Maria.
Also, I wanted to throw this in there. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, but it's
love
been a
the
big
YouTube.
thing where where you saying be yourself, be more authentic, that
Mm.
a lot more people, and especially over TikTok, are a lot more interested in real authentic videos when people make them in their car, because they're coming across as more relatable, more
Mhm.
realistic. So I just throwing that in there.
Yep.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Maria.
absolutely.
That's awesome.
What I
Sounds
find
like-
fascinating, and I know at my advanced age, I shouldn't be a TikToker. I don't produce TikTok videos. I watch them. It saved all of my quarantines.
You
I think
guys,
it's
Gary
phenomenal.
does too. We found out.
Yeah,
Gary
Gary's a
does
big
this too.
TikToker.
I
Yeah.
was amazed when I found out. I love this so much.
Absolutely love the TikTok. I'll go home tonight. We'll be watching the Bruins. My wife will be candy crushing. I'll be TikToking. It's a lifestyle. Anyway, that being said, I'm fascinated by this, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm not. Facebook causes me to dislike people that I know. TikTok endears me to people I've never met. It's
I
a
agree.
power. I think it's a
Sure.
powerful medium. You can find your tribe on TikTok pretty fast. YouTube shorts. Don't overthink it. Hit record, post it. Do it.
I have one question.
Yeah,
Yep.
Charity.
LinkedIn.
Yep.
Does anybody, I don't know. I feel like it was something from so long ago and then it went away. And then all of a sudden now I keep hearing about LinkedIn and I'm like,
Yep.
wait, does this really exist?
People, you can go live on LinkedIn. It's a changed animal. I would go explore that. And just like anything else, for sure. I think we get caught up in like, well, that's my personal Facebook page. They'll never find it. You have to be the same person in public. You have surrendered your ability to be a maniac in public when you become a realtor, because you are at your market center. You're representing the other souls on board, right? We have 700 agents at our market center. We all have to behave in a space that we're protecting everybody's goodness. So don't think that, oh, I posted that on my personal page, they'll never find it. My wife is like the FBI. She will find out everything about you. And she will find all the stuff you don't want her to find. So don't have your LinkedIn all buttoned up and studious and corporate, and then have your TikTok, you're topless and not corporate. Like, we have to make sure we're the same person everywhere, because they will find you.
I was just wondering if LinkedIn was really as relevant as, is it still really relevant?
It's a
Well,
whole nother
yeah,
conversation. You're
and-
going to find people there. Yeah.
And it's a different community, right? So the people
Okay.
who are on LinkedIn, the people who pay attention on LinkedIn, the people who spend time there, They're there for professional connections
Mhm.
or career connections. You know,
Expected, yes.
what's that?
That's what I expect, yes.
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, we love everybody, but we're also here to make some money, right? I assume, I hope, right?
Of course.
People who have jobs and care about their career tend to earn money.
Here we go. Yep, she's nailing it. When you're on Facebook, the one of the most cross-pollinated celebrated posts every day on Facebook is it's Raymond's birthday. Wish him a happy birthday. What is most celebrated on LinkedIn? New jobs.
And
That's
work
what you see on LinkedIn. So, oh, Raymond used to work in the mailroom, and then he moved to middle management. Now he's in the C-suite. Raymond has an expensive chair. I can see that online. Maybe he wants an expensive house for his expensive chair. Raymond's making more money. Some of that money is now discretionary income. I would like to go help him be discretionary, right? Great agent from California, Tony Giordano, who wrote the book, the Social Agent, and he has a second book. If you find him, he has no hair. That's your lead indicator. He's definitely bald, definitely Italian. Tony Giordano, West Coast, the Opulent Group is the name of his team. And he said this, and it is so true. He went, and this was on Twitter. He also did it on LinkedIn, when kids are getting accepted to universities. Now he's on the West Coast. So he would do a hard target search for the hashtag Pepperdine on Twitter and then find kids that are going to Pepperdine. What are some families will be like, well, you know, our son Timothy's going to Pepperdine. We're going to sell the house in Maryland. We're going to move out to the West Coast to be closer to him. Or because they're of means, they're just going to buy Timothy a house near Pepperdine because they don't want him living on campus because he'll get arrested faster. Right. And he was tracking these kids down that were saying, I'm going to Pepperdine, and said, I'd like to meet your parents and their bank account. My name's Tony Giordano. Like, there's so many hacks in here, guys. But on LinkedIn, people celebrate jobs the most. It's the most cross-pollinated comment on LinkedIn. People with new jobs buy new houses. Tip your waiters and waitresses. Thank you for coming. What else we got?
Hyper
Oh.
local. Highlight
Yeah.
your business. Highlight other local businesses with your business.
Huh.
It's one of the easiest ways to build content. Where do you go every day? Like, what businesses do you go to locally? Do a little live at the coffee shop.
Mhm.
Talk to the owner who owns this coffee shop. Hey, would you mind if I highlighted your business in my feed? Who's going to say no? They're going to say, oh my gosh, yes, of course. I would love that. Thank you. Can I tag you? Who are you? I recognize you, but what's your name? Right? Keep doing that over and over and over and over again. Hyper local. You are giving your viewers, your followers, information. Here's this coffee shop. Here's their owner. I'm doing a little conversation with them. Here's where they came from. This is what they care about. They're originally from Turkey, and the coffee is the absolute best on the seacoast. Cafe Killam, if you're ever here, it is
That's ridiculous.
extremely good. There's a new Dover location. I'm very excited. No one else here is that relevant
Yeah.
for.
Now they're thinking Dover, Maryland. You're way off track. They're very confused. You're going to be driving
I'm
around
psyched
tomorrow
about it.
looking for it. It's not
Yeah.
what we mean. Anyway.
But you see what I mean, right? That's exciting for me. I want to know that there's a new location of Cafe Killam. You guys don't care. But in your neighborhoods, there's something about that. There's some same thing in all of your neighborhoods, and somebody in your neighborhood, around your neighborhood, looking at your neighborhood would want to know. So share it with them.
So how does this get you business? I'm glad you asked. People that are looking for houses are online looking at houses. People that are looking to list their house are looking for a rock star that knows when the coffee shop opened, when the restaurant closes for the season. Like, I'm going to be in business with Charity because Charity knows everything and everyone. She doesn't, but her perception online, and I'm not saying to be disingenuous, the perception online is she's at a coffee shop. Now she's at the new barbecue place. She's at the children's school. She's at a function for golden retrievers. It doesn't matter. Just making sure that you keep reminding people that when they become transactional, you're the mayor, and go be authentic, right? And just stopping in and getting to the point, because you're eventually going to get to the point. I'm going to go into Shashank and say, hey man, your restaurant's off the charts. I've got 10 million followers. Would you mind if I did a live video of my experience here, what's he gonna say? He just said 10 million followers. I mean, if you don't believe us, you will. And again, back to TikTok, you're welcome. Keith Lee, if you're on TikTok, you know who I'm talking about. Keith Lee lives in Vegas and he started doing food reviews. He's getting a television show and he's remarkably authentic. He sits in his child's beach chair doing the food reviews. And he's hyper awkward and he's a sensation because he's being him. Don't overthink it, overdo it. You'll find your tribe for sure. Don't post and ghost. This is also a Tony Giordano-ism for sure. We can't say that we have an online presence if we're not present online. There's a distinction in what I just said. You can't say you have an online presence if you're not present online. It's like walking down the hall. If Zoe and I were in the hallway and she was bringing me peanut M&Ms, which she did because she's a genius, I would obviously stop and take them because I'm a fat bastard. Outside of that, if we were just passing each other in the hallway and I'm like, hey, Zoe, how you doing? And she keeps walking. She's like, and she just keeps going by me. That is tantamount to me posting online, hey, Zoe, how you doing? After she said, how's everybody doing? And then walked away from the post. If you're going to engage online, you need to stay engaged online. It is a powerful tool, or you can make people feel unheard and uncared for, and that's going to be really bad. So don't overplay your hand. Don't get out over the tips of your skis, but simple little questions, simple interactions, and make sure you're checking back in so people feel they're being communicated with.
Just Tank, what's your question?
Yeah. So should we balance between prospecting and marketing? How much time for marketing, social media, and how much time for prospecting? Like, should we focus more on prospecting and less on marketing, or 50-50?
Always, you nailed it. We are prospecting based, marketing enhanced, right? And you can post something on social media with a call to action that could feel like it's prospecting. Prospecting is always a real-time two-way conversation. Maria just went back and forth in DMs in real time during our break. That is real time. Me cobbling together a letter with an eagle's wing and some ink and sending it to you and you writing back to me in 3 weeks. That's 1863. That's not real time interaction, right? So we are always going to be prospecting first. We can create business faster by speaking with people, by engaging with people in real time. There can be social media marketing that's taking place. I'm not saying ignore it. Do not make it the crux of your business, right? It's an add-on.
Yeah.
I'm going
And
to prospect first, actively, market passively.
In that way, Teresa, I see your question in the chat. Is it okay to hire someone to make the posts for me and take care of the social media part of my business? I would say it depends. You're going to hate me. I love you. It's fine. It depends on your business. What's the size of your business? What's your revenue? Are you prepared to track literally every single thing that person does so that you can calculate your dollar to dollar ROI on that investment? That is an investment tantamount to a billboard, right? You need to know your ROI on that.
And Zoe makes a great point too. I
a
think
lot of work for you, right?
Yeah, we also want to make
doesn't
sure this
remove
person's
the work.
speaking our language. If Zoe's going to post on my behalf, I want to make sure we're in relationship where she knows how I would, you get to the point where you're working with somebody in real estate. If you're on a team and you both go to the listing appointment and the younger agent starts finishing the veteran agent sentences, I know it's time for me to step away and Zoe can do this on her own. When I know that Zoe understands what I want my standard to be online, and obviously there can be a process, right? It's back to the I do, we do, they do. She's going to learn my standard, learn my process, and we can time out the post and all that kind of stuff. But again, we're not creating that leverage if we don't have the revenue to back it up. Don't go start to invest money in somebody to do something for you. I want to make sure that you know how to do that. In their absence, you might have to take the job back. It can't just suddenly stop because they're not here. So get really dangerous at it, create the revenue to support the fact that I love this and it's not my highest and best use. I'm bringing Trisha into my life now. I'm bringing Todd into my life now. They're going to do it for me. They do it better than I do. They'll be more efficient and it's cost effective now because I can put my use to better services by going out and getting more business to feed the fire, right? Don't do it to chop off your own legs. It makes no sense.
I think the other thing to think about, especially if you are starting out your presence on social media, is the best way to think about social media is it is a what is it? It's an enhanced way to create relationships with more people than you see daily,
Mm,
right? So if in your day-to-day life you don't see 100 people, which I would venture to guess is most of us don't see 100 people in our day-to-day life, social media is an access point for us to engage with and create relationships with
mhm.
100 people every 3 days, right? You're the one they need to be in relationship with. They don't need to be in relationship with your social media assistant, right? The whole point is they want to get to know you. You want them to get to know you. You want to
Mhm.
get to know them
Yeah.
so that you can create a relationship together and hopefully build that lifelong client realtor relationship. And that takes your time. It does.
Absent their relationship with you, all they have is your reputation.
Mhm.
So think about, like, I'll use the Bradley Cooper example. When people see Bradley Cooper in the wild, they freak out because he's remarkably good looking and they feel like they have a relationship with him because they've seen him in all these movies. I've seen him walk. I've seen his idiosyncrasies. I've heard him talk. I feel like I know him. Fans of famous people feel like they have this relationship. You can start to make yourself famous to your tribe when they can constantly see and hear you. They feel a connection that you can't create with the billboard, with the written word, or with content that doesn't involve your face. We're continuing to nurture our relationship absent our physical presence in real time. That video of you that could be watched at any time is going to nurture a relationship while you're doing other things with your family, sleeping, right? The elves get to cobble the shoes while you're doing other things. So
And then
if you
that
can
whole
replicate
thing-
you, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, that whole thing is going to be enhanced by everything else that you do on social media.
Mhm.
So adding value wherever you are on social media, especially in these online communities. I don't know if I have like fellow moms on here, but the moms groups on Facebook, you guys, whoa, like if you can stand being in there, power to you. And those are great places to get leads because fellow moms are like, hey, we just moved here, or hey, my husband just got a new job somewhere. Does anyone know anyone in this random place that I'm moving? Like, and if you are active in there and you're generous, and by generous, I mean, answer the question, where's a good pediatrician around here?
Be
And
the
don't
mayor.
answer the
Yep.
question with, they're on State Street. I happen to have a listing over there. No, thank you. No one wants to hear about your listing.
You can be close to the doctor if you buy 52 Maple Street.
Right?
Not
Yeah,
what we're
no,
doing.
just answer their question. You are the local expert, answer their question,
Mhm.
and that's it, right? If you would continue to do that consistently over time, they'll get to know who you are and they'll be like, who is this person? Who is this Amber? Oh my gosh, she knows everybody. She like knows all these. Oh, she's an agent too. Oh,
She must be
okay,
the
all right.
mayor. Yeah.
She must be the mayor. She must know everything about this place. I actually need a new snowplow person. Do you know? I know none of you need that, but if one lived up here and there was snow, I need
You're
a new
jinxing
snowplow
the
person.
Beltway right now. They're going to get a
Sorry.
huge storm this
Oh,
weekend.
you guys
though.
want snow? That's right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes, they're dying for it. Like I said. Yeah.
Charities. Yeah.
Charity
Anyway,
wants a storm.
you get my point.
Yep.
Let's see. More strategies. Be authentic. We've been talking about that for ages. Don't be jack of all trades. This is meaning do not be on every single social media site. You're spreading yourself too thin. You can't be good at all of them. Be good at a couple. Be good at a few.
And don't try to be all things to all people either. Be yourself, be authentic, find your tribe.
Yep. Embrace video. Embrace video.
Yeah, if I hear one more agent in our market center, like, you know what? I'm going to lean into video this year. You know how many times I've heard that? You know how many times I've heard that? Just do it. We're all carrying, like, you don't even make phone calls on your phone anymore. It is a media machine. Hit record.
Does
Hit
anyone
record.
here remember Facebook's, back when it was Facebook, not Meta, Facebook's big pivot to video? Who else was online in that time and remembers
Mhm.
that? Shashank, thank you. Thank you. Right. Do you remember when that was?
Actually, I'm sorry. I was going to say something else
Oh,
about
he's
the
like, no,
video.
I had a question. I'm not with you.
Go ahead.
Okay.
No, so I was saying like I have posted some videos on Facebook Messenger to my Facebook people who I haven't been in contact in a long time, and I don't have their phone number or anything, but I've just recorded a, like 20-second video, and I sent the video in their messenger, like saying like, hi, I've been thinking about you, and just checking on you, and when you have a moment, just let me know how you're doing. So some people have responded back, some people not, but
Mhm.
that's how I've used some video.
That's an awesome, awesome idea. It's also, I love that, Shashank, because you're showing people I'm not a bot that's just copy pasting, spamming all of my Facebook contacts. You're taking the time to, I assume, like film a video, like, hi, Sally, I haven't seen you in years, but I've been thinking of you, like personalized. And so they can see, oh, this is not spam. This is real. Shashank wants to talk to me and get in touch again. I love that. Like, hey, right. That's fantastic. Yeah, Maria.
Just to kind of add on to that, I was in command and I was just like really just trying to figure it out. So I was just going through everything and just basically just clicking all the buttons. And I was in the marketplace and I found like a video recording platform. It's called BombBomb.
Mhm.
Yes, BombBomb is so great.
Yeah, and it's video messaging, which I thought was like really, really cool because it's a thing. So I plan on using it. But I just wanted to let you guys know of BombBomb, and I think it was free. So because it's through KW. So
Yeah, I will say also not through KW. BombBomb is not free.
yeah.
So use the marketplace.
Yeah,
Mhm.
use the marketplace. That's how
For
I
sure.
found out about it.
Yeah, and it is amazing. Both of those tactics, fantastic, because those are one-to-one video, right? Videos here, it was here a decade ago. It
Mhm.
will be here a decade from now. If you're scared of talking on video, welcome to literally everyone.
Mhm.
Okay. Video is the future. It's here already, right? If you want to get the most mileage from your social media use, it is on video. The reason is because all of the social media platforms, all of their algorithms like video better. They will boost you to more people if you use video.
And even more so, and I know you're not doing this, Shashank, even more so though, if you cut a video and disperse it everywhere, the interwebs is going to be able to read the meta tags connected to the video. They're going to know it's a replication of the same content and it doesn't get the same spread.
Nope.
I know that's just a wall behind you, Shashank, but I'm thinking if anybody has a whiteboard in their office, I would, if you're shooting different videos, and I trust you are because you're saying, hey, Stacy, hey, Steve, hey, Todd, hey, Ted, I would you have the whiteboard right behind you and just erase the name every time, but just have it say, Timmy, push play at the top of the video, right? Because the thumbnail is going to show behind you, Timmy, push play. So it's not, now I already know this is not a stock video. This is made for me. And then you erase Timmy and you write Zoe. Then you write Raymond. Then you write Maria. That sounds like a lot of work. Welcome to real estate, right? But that'll be a game changer. That'll be a game changer because people are gonna be like, oh, this is actually for me. It's like the handwritten note. It's curated for you. It's not a bill. It's not stock mail. It's handwritten by you to them.
Using analytics to optimize your posts. Like I said, the algorithm. Social media is a video game. Does anyone play video games? I don't play video games. Does anyone here play video games? Yeah.
I love that Raymond admitted it. I'm
yes,
like,
you're
yes.
the chair, of course. Yes, I hope.
It's not a
Okay.
video game chair. It is a distinct executive's chair. There, Raymond. I will fight for our greatness. We are distinct and we are executives. Yes. And he's probably going to play Mario Kart after this. But anyway, I can't defend that. I can't defend that. Yeah.
Okay, so those are video games though. Who plays like any game on your phone where there are points involved and levels, right? That's social media. Social media is a video game. You get points or you get points taken away. There are activities you can do that will get you to the next level. And then there are activities that you can do that will say, nope, Facebook will shut you down, not shut you down, but they'll say, no one wants to see that. That's boring. The way that you can figure out which one is which is by looking at your analytics. Your Facebook page, if you go onto your Facebook business page, your Instagram business page, your YouTube page, any of your accounts, there's an area there that will say analytics, insights, something like that. And it will show you, I mean, fuck up your self-esteem here, right? This is not about us. This is about the video game. We just want to play the video game better. Okay. It's going to show you which posts did better, which posts had more likes, which posts had more watches, which posts had more engagements, more comments, etc. Do more of what people like more.
Huh. Good night, everybody. Yeah.
That's
Do
it.
the stuff the people like.
If there is one secret to social media, it's stop doing things people find boring and keep doing more of the things that get more likes.
Yep.
That's it. That's the whole secret. If you keep doing that over time, your page will grow and grow and grow. And
Think
each
about-
post will become more effective for you.
Think about the young kid that was on TikTok that said, it's corn. Like he was a sensation because he was raving about corn at a fair. Like he has a corn sponsorship now. It was like a 17-second snippet of his mom feeding him a 13-foot piece of corn. And he's a superstar now. Like we cannot be like, oh, I don't think this will work. We're not smart enough to beat the algorithm. Put content of yourself being authentic into the universe and let it go.
Maria, what you got?
I didn't mean to raise my hand.
That's
Oh,
okay. That's
that's
okay.
okay.
We
What
appreciate
you
it.
got anyway? I feel like you have a lot to offer on this subject. What are your thoughts? You're on mute. I love you.
There we go. There. Oh, I was saying I love everything that you guys are saying, and 100% of it is true. Just be authentic, be yourself. Like for me, I just had a baby and I made a couple videos just to give you an example, and I got, a lot of views, a lot of just comments, and I try to like all the comments and respond within like an hour. Just so that I stay top of mind in the algorithm. Like it's all about the algorithm. But just being my authentic self, and I'm a mom of 2 boys, but my younger son, he's with me more so I can post them a little bit more within my comfortability. But a lot of people like that. People like babies. So, I'm going with it. It works until something else works, and then I'll pivot. But no, a lot of the things that you guys are saying is definitely right on the needle on the head.
Thank you.
All right. So the 10-5-1, 10-5-1, 10-5-1, 10-5-1. Be generous, meaning like more than you post, comment more than you post, right? Be generous to other people, be active on the platform, show the platform that you're spending time on app, right? This is a video game, time on app. It will reward you for this. And post mostly about personal things, not so much about the business, but do make sure people know that you are in real estate. Continue to add value, continue to highlight your community, highlight community service, be your local mayor.
And like we give you permission to like 11 things. You're allowed to do an 11th like. There's no tipping point. Don't get lost in the matrix though. Like, oh, I was doing my social media 10-5-1 and that was breakfast. Now my pancakes are cold and it's midnight. Like, where did the day go? Like, don't do that. I will track you down if you do that. Don't do that. We're better than that. Be better than that. But hold to the social media engagement. It's going to be a driver for you. Find your community. Find the medium that makes sense for you. Find your commonality with others. Find your tribe. Don't count likes. Don't count views. Just keep posting content. Your community will grow. Your following will grow. Don't overthink it. Overdo it.
Questions, ahas? I'm psyched. I can hang out more because we're only 9 minutes late. So I feel like we've got all the time in the world now, but
Yeah, we told our families we'd be
We
home
are
by
late.
midnight. Yeah. Zoe's like, we're supposed to go to 8, but Tim's here. So it's going to be like 9:30, 10 o'clock. I'm just kidding. I'll stop talking. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What do we got, guys? Help. Lean in. Ahas, thoughts. How did we do? Maria, go ahead.
I really like the information that you just gave about the open houses and just how to like stand out and just properly placing yourself in the right moment in time to get the people, to bring them in, especially as as someone growing, as an agent that's growing. I think a lot of that help. I have like notes and notes. So I definitely think, and then also just the wording, the property premiere, like I didn't hear it that way. So I keep hearing open houses, but that rings a bell to me because of the type of people that I want to bring in. I think that will ring a bell to them as well. So just the different little gems that you've been dropping, definitely appreciated.
I appreciate that. And I can say this because I have a wealth of gray hair. Some dinosaur in your region is going to be like, what is this? Why do you call it a listing launch? Why don't you swing through to find out, right? You're going to get pushback because everybody loves their open houses with 3 balloons and 4 cookies. Be different, be authentic, do something novel, right? The brain loves novelty. Diana Kokoska, do something that will catch their eye, be different, create curiosity. It's going to work. I promise you that. And if you're near a business park, you do the after hours, you do the twilight open house. If you're near a soccer field, you do Saturday. If you're near a temple, you do a Saturday. If you're near a church, you do a Sunday. You play to the music, you dance to the music that's being played. That's going to be successful for your clients. Not like we're doing 9 to 11 because it's Saturday. Like, okay, nobody's going to show up. Yeah. Because all the baseball games are in the afternoon. Stupid. Don't say stupid. That's an internal monologue. But people are like, no, but we've always done it this way. Okay. And it's still not working. So what if we change things? So great. Go ahead, Charity.
Quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
About open houses, but
Mhm.
as an agent, I am dying, a new agent. I am dying to go.
Growing agent. Start again. Growing
Growing
agent.
agent.
Amen,
as a
sister.
Growing agent.
Yeah.
I am very interested in going and seeing other people's open houses.
Mhm.
But I feel really, I don't know what to say, and I feel really shy. And I walk in like, I'm not the house buyer. I'm not looking for a, and I feel really.
I love that you say,
out-of-place.
I love that you're asking. Yep. Yep. So
What
you're
about you?
you're going to walk in and you're going to say, hey, Maria, my name's Charity. I'm with Keller Williams, wherever you are. Right. And if it's your market center and you haven't met yet, whatever the case may be, if I'm going around, you're going to benefit yourself to understand the industry, to understand the properties that are on the market. And you are another agent. Hey, Maria, Charity from KW. I just popped in. I wanted to take a look. I've got some buyers that are looking. They couldn't be with me today. Do you mind if I look around? Do you mind if I shoot a quick short outside for YouTube? Ask permission, let them know who you are. And we have to behave appropriate in the space. I am in her kitchen. I'm at her restaurant. I'm not going to steal her people. It's her food. She's the chef. I'm visiting, right? Because this happens everywhere. People
Please-
stand out in the
please
driveway.
Don't let it happen where
Yeah.
you are standing.
Yeah,
Please
let's be
don't.
professional. There are enough fish in the sea. So you're just going to go and introduce yourself. I'm a fellow agent. I have clients too. Would you be offended if I brought the buyer from 123 Main Street? Maria's gonna be like, of course not. And that's it. You just go and introduce yourself. I wanted to see the home so I can make sure that I have a carnal knowledge of it when I talk to my clients about it because they may be interested. I think this is their flavor. They're in Detroit today. I'll talk to you later. Lovely open house. Love the balloons, by the way. Right?
And Charity, if
Three
you're really like, you want to start like really small too, go to a listing of somebody's listing who's in your office. Say, hey,
Yeah.
I'm in your office. I'm a new agent here. I'm a growing agent here in your office. It's really nice to meet you. I wanted to introduce myself. They're going to take it from there. They're going to be excited to meet you.
Yep.
And they're going to welcome you in, right?
Our entire culture at our company is about making sure that everybody feels brought forward, right? Leave no person behind. I would be astounded if you ran into a veteran agent that wasn't willing to grab your hand and pull you along. Right. The coolest part of not being the person who just landed, the person who's growing, the person who got here last week is now you have the curse of knowledge. I only got here 17 minutes ago, but Steve, he just got here 2 minutes ago. I'm wicked smart. Come here, I'll show you the ropes, right? Like you're suddenly a genius, right? Because he feels like you created fire, you know? Yeah, you're a 15-minute veteran over Steve. You're a genius. Come with me, right? Everybody's willing to help. Everybody's sitting where everybody has sat where you're sitting. Everyone's willing to help. Speak to your local leadership. They will find you people to team up with, to go hang out with.
Yeah. And actually, I don't know if you have this in your region. If you have in your area home tours
Mm-hmm.
that an agent organizes, whether it's from your brokerage or another brokerage, go on the home tours, right? It's specifically for agents. They want agents to go on these home tours, right? There's going to be like a caravan around. You're going to follow each other. You're going to meet a ton of other agents. You'll probably meet an inspector or a lender who goes along with you, and you're going to see 5 houses that morning. You're going to learn so much. So if you hear, like, ask your leadership, is there a home tour in this area that I can jump on?
Yep.
And then go to it every week, every other week, whenever it's held, keep going. You're
We
going
have
to
one
learn
that is-
so much.
We have one that's world famous. It's every other Tuesday. Melissa, one of our ALC members, runs it. She'll do different parts of our region. It leaves from a Dunkin' Donuts. Sometimes it leaves from our office here in Portsmouth. You're going to go see maybe 10 houses. You're going to meet other agents. You're going to learn about the inventory, and there's lunch at the end. And all they want you to do, the only homework you have to do is give your BPO, your broker price opinion. And when you're growing, and I'm standing next to Zoe, like, what the hell does that mean? You have to tell them how much you think it's worth. I'm like, I don't know, but I want the sandwich at the end. So I'll just make a number up. I'm joking. They're going to show you how to do it, right? Like, depersonalize it. What's with the dead dog in the basement? You just write down your thoughts and dreams. You write down what you think it should be worth. You get to meet other agents. So now when I run into you at my first showing as a buyer's agent, I walk up and Charity's like, oh, hey, Timmy, nice to see you again. Because you're awesome. You're not gonna be like, are you new? You look like an idiot. You'll be like, oh, I just saw him last week. Now I know you. Now we're the best of friends. And I also know the house I'm going into because I saw it on the broker tour because I'm wicked smart. Yeah. So when you get back to your local leadership, find out who your productivity coach is, find out who your market center tech trainer is, ask your team leader or your productivity coach to introduce you to the ALC. Every one of our market centers has an associate leadership council. They are the board of directors for your privately held market center.
They're
They're
your
the movers and the
representatives
shakers.
to
Yeah.
your market center leadership. Right. What else? Everyone's asleep.
I know.
Did we finally talk them to the ground?
I'm still awake.
And Charity's like, I'm still here. Don't leave
I
me."
am too. This is great information.
What else
Like,
we
I
got,
can
guys?
go for another
Questions, comments,
hour.
concerns?
Oh, this is Latrina. I wanted to say thanks for the information that you guys provided to us tonight. One of the takeaways for me is about how to utilize my business page. I wasn't posting any personal stuff. It was just just dedicated to just business and stuff like that. And you're right. Not too many people really see your posts. It don't really go to like.
Yep.
I see like about maybe like 4 or 5 people may like it, or and other folks if I talk to you see my post like, oh no, I didn't see anything or whatever. So just knowing more about the algorithm and stuff like that was very helpful. So thank you.
Awesome. And Latrina, just to be clear, when we talk about the Pareto principle and the 80-20 rule and going 80% personal, 20% business, when I say personal, again, don't make you the focus. What I mean by personal, certainly for myself, my thought process is show me Latrina, and think of it in this way. Stand on the front step of your house and look out into the neighborhood in which you live, right? Because we ultimately, in the grand scheme of things, they're writing the check for the brick and mortar to live in. But we ultimately, as mayors of our town, we are curating a lifestyle for them. We sold them on the lifestyle of why they chose 123 Main Street. And the house is important, but there's something that drew them to that space. And the proximity to a school system or a place of faith or whatever the case may be, the neighborhood. So stand on your front steps and think about, what am I not talking about? Why do I live here? What do I love? The coffee shop, the barber, the park by the water, and go start to cut those videos and make it personal about why you love it and why they should love it and why they should live where you live. And why you're the conduit to their greatness. I am the mayor. You will talk to me. I will sell you all the things. And in between time, I'll tell you where to buy your bagels, right? That's it. Don't overthink it.
And bring my dog as well, right?
Yeah.
Amen. Oh my God. Yes. Yes.
What's your dog's name, Latrina?
Yeah. When it comes to social media,
Paris.
thumb stopping content. What is it?
Paris.
Yeah, Paris.
Amazing.
Yeah. Thumb stopping content. What makes you guys stop? When you're scrolling, it's rarely a paragraph, sometimes a good picture with a shorter paragraph, definitely a video. And then when I start to beat the consistency starts to hit me that every time I see Latrina's content, it's valuable to me. I'm always going to stop. But when the thumbnail is a golden retriever with with Maria's baby riding on back, dressed like a cowboy, I'm in.
Yeah.
I don't know what's about to happen,
A
but I'm about to
win-win.
miss it, right? Yeah.
Win-win-win.
Yeah.
All day,
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Babiesandpuppies.com. Somebody buy that right now. I'm going to go on GoDaddy right now and
Owned.
grab that. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Babies and puppies.
$25,000.
Yeah. I have the detrimental relationship with GoDaddy, but that's fine. Single-handedly keeping them in business.
We can't do that.
We
can't do
just bought KW Fight Club. I know you're intrigued. I can't tell you. Yeah. But anyway, look it up. KWFightClub.com. Join us on Tuesdays from 9 to 11 for lead generation.
Yeah, come on
Yeah.
down.
Yes.
Lead generation, Fight
Open
Club.
open
It's called Fight
invitation
Club.
every Tuesday, 9 to 11. KWFightClub.com. Cameras
would
on,
love to
mics
see
off,
more.
make your calls.
Seriously?
Yes.
Seriously, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We
We called
started
it
out
Power Hour
calling it
Club, and we're like,
Power
no,
Hour
we're going to
Club,
call it Fight Club.
But then
Yep.
it was like, we have to just go straight to Fight Club. It's Fight
Yep.
Club. It's
What are we
so-
fighting for? Our greatness. What are we fighting for? Listings. What are we fighting? Our limiting belief about picking up the phone. Yep.
KWFightClub.com.
Tuesdays, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard or Eastern Daylight. Where are we now? I don't even know anymore. It's dark out. I'm so confused. I'm just going to
Wherever
sleep
New
here.
York
With
is.
I'm
that's
just going
where
to sleep here with my peanut M&Ms. Save time.
Global warming, it messes everything up.
What else we got, guys? Questions, comments, concerns? How can we help? I'm going to throw into the chat. If we can help with anything, let me know. Here is Marcel. That's the 603-834-2856. Again, my name's Tim Lindsay, productivity coach here at 463. And
Be careful
also,
what you're asking for.
what's that?
I said, be careful.
No, super happy to help. And there's my email. So yeah, if we can help with anything, and again, if you're, if you haven't gotten into relationship with your local leadership and the team at your market center, if you don't have a market center tech trainer, they're probably on the way. If you don't have a productivity coaching team, they're probably on the way. Check in with your market center, make sure you're engaged with all that. What we know without fail, like Zoe and I at 463, we're not Morpheus. We don't have the red pill and the blue pill. We just know that agents that are engaged with the market center are going to do more business because they're plugged in. And the resources here, we have an embarrassment of riches at KW. And if you are not leaning into that, you're doing yourself, your future, your family, and your legacy a disservice. So just start to lean in. Start to be part of the company that you chose. Think about why you chose KW. A lot of people, their answer is going to be like, well, the education, the training, the support. Yet you're not leaning into the education, the training, the support. You guys are.
You are. You're here.
You are. And I appreciate that.
23. So I apologize
Yeah.
for that. And thanks for being here with us. And thank yourself, right?
Yep.
You're keep doing this. Keep doing more of this. Also, Christopher, I have to ask, I feel like I recognize you from regional things. Where are you from? Where's your market center?
Market Center 93 in Plano, Texas.
Huh.
I'm in Dallas.
Inside
Like,
the
nope,
100.
I do
Inside
not
the
live where it
100.
is cold. Thank you.
Love that.
Well, it's nice to see you. Thanks for
Yeah.
being here, Christopher.
All right, thank you, thank
Love
you. And I've been growing for 2 weeks.
Oh my God. I love all of that.
Congrats.
I love all of that. And he already changed his language. I love it. Stop saying new. Stop saying new. And I don't say that as a
Right.
shame factor. It's our mindset, right? Who do we spend the most time with? Us. We are listening to our internal monologue. Stop saying new. You were new the day your license landed. You are growing now, and you're going to serve a ton of people. And invariably, most of your clients, as you get started, are going to be people that know and love and trust you, and they know you're just getting started. And it's okay because they trust you from other venues in your life. But get new out of your head. Nobody needs to remind themselves of that. You're growing now. And this was available to the entire country, and there's 18 of you left, and
Yeah.
minus us, 16 of
will
you. And I
also point
appreciate that.
out, it was available to our market center. Nobody from our market center is here.
Yeah, they've seen the
So
show,
you guys
but
are
they've
here,
seen
and that
this
makes us
lounge act.
feel
They're like,
really
oh my God, Timmy and Zoe after dark. I'd rather go paint the wall with my blood. That was probably more graphic than it should have been. But yeah, they're tired of us. They've had enough.
We're
And
done.
you've probably had enough. It's 8:20.
down here.
No.
All right. Lovely to see you all. We've had a great time. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate
So
your
so
time
awesome.
that you're putting this in. You have our information. This will be recorded.
That's
It
horrifying.
is.
Can we get a hold of the
You're
microfiche?
still
I don't want. If
recording,
Gary
which is
sees this, I'm
terrible.
over. It's done.
I
Yeah,
know.
we're
Oh my
done.
God.
Yeah.
Melissa's going to be putting this on YouTube for posterity
Oh,
forevermore.
God. The digital
uh,
Smithsonian. Yeah, it's
God.
great. Yeah.
It's at what is this? KW Legacy MD YouTube. So it's on there. Ignite After Dark playlist is on there. Hold on, I have the link. I got it. There is the link for you if you would like to relive this experience of the last 3 hours of your life.
This is practice.
I
for
feel like
getting the
it'd be
feet
better
wet.
without sound, probably. Go ahead. Sorry, Maria. What did you say?
I said this is practice for everybody who's camera shy.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
100%.
Yep.
Yep. All right. We love you all. Thank you for being here. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so much
guys.
for having us. We appreciate you. Have a good night.
Have a great night, guys. Take care.
Good
Thank you.
night.